Two girls are super hyped as the MC spills his story. After a divine oopsie, he ends up in a totally different world, waking up in a place he's never seen before. His name? Tamaya Sadoshima, just another casualty of capitalism. A massive truck smacked him while he was jaywalking, and he should have been toast, but nope, still kicking. Tamaya's all, did I really bite the dust? When suddenly a drop-dead gorgeous girl pops up. She's bawling and apologizing, promising to spill the tea over, well, tea. Turns out she's the goddess of creation, running the show in this world. Tamaya wasn't supposed to kick the bucket, it was a total accident, but the god who messed up is already roasting in hell. The goddess tried to fix it, but sending him back would cause a universal meltdown. MC freaks out like a kid who lost his candy, asking if she expects him to just roll with it. He's like, how long am I stuck here? And she's all, oh, just a casual 300 trillion years. Losing his marbles, Tamaya asks if there's any workaround, and she's like, how about a new world? Apparently, he's off to a place where magic and stats are the real MVPs. His old world's going offline, but she can hook him up with a safer, cooler spot. Given the culture shock, she's offering him bonus powers so he doesn't get wrecked. Trying to lighten the mood, MC admits his past life was a mess, so the goddess drops the bomb that in 3 days, he would have been a billionaire. Plus, he'd have a harem and live to 150, but now, it's game over, and he's gotta embrace the new gig. Tamaya's suspicious, thinking she's rushing him, and asks if there's more to the story. The goddess apologizes again, admitting there's a catch. Reincarnation's a rare deal, and this world's been at war for 50 years, with a demon king crashing the party. Tamaya's like, is this your mess? And she's like, yup, but if a big boss god steps in, it's game over. Still, if she does nada, her world's toast, so she's begging for his help. With no other options, MC agrees to help, and she's like, here, have my powers. The goddess of creation plants a big smooch on Tamaya, calling him cute. Then she's like, congrats, you're now OP enough to save the world from the Demon King. Afterwards, she teases him, saying he's never been kissed before. She starts giving him the 411 and tells him to check his status window. In that system, he can keep tabs on his life, magic, and other cool stuff. Then she's rushing him again for the reincarnation gig. Curious, Tamaya asks if there's more tea, but before she spills, he's already yeeted into a black hole. Only then does she realize she forgot something super important. A few hours later, in a city in that world, a pig-like creature is causing chaos. The little army is led by the Demon King's orc army general. After storming the village, they wipe out the dudes and round up the ladies. A white wolf named Lucia's all like, why are y'all being so savage? She used to be super proud of her wolf squad and strength, but after her bro went down like a total noob, she's questioning everything. The general's creeping on a defenseless woman, and Lucia's like, not today, and steps up to defend her. But the orcs got moves, way too quick. The general's all smug, then spots the white wolf. The big orc decides to spare her, making her his servant instead. Then he's like, I'll keep her, the rest are for my crew. Out of nowhere, Tamaya shows up, saying he's got no time and needs to wipe out all the demons. He starts taking down orcs, telling Lucia he's got her back. The monsters ask for his name, and he's like, nope, not telling. Then, the MC finishes off the orcs. The orc general starts barking orders, telling the boy not to get cocky for beating some small fry. Then, the general's like, I'll handle this myself, and asks the mage to watch his epicness. Since the boy's hiding his true power, they only see 550 points. Laughing, the general's like, you only beat those orcs by sheer luck. Tamaya's thinking it's gonna be easier than he thought. Then he taunts the orcs, asking if they're gonna make a move. With one epic swipe, he takes out a bunch at once. The orcs freak out, trying magic attacks, but nothing sticks. The boy can copy magic he sees, so he uses it to crush the orcs. The generals shook, thinking the boy was way weaker. Turns out, Tamaya's power is 220,000. The orcs are in disbelief over the boy's insane power. The general pulls out a card, claiming they've got a secret weapon, and the boy asks the AI, Isis, what's up? She's like, chill, it's nothing. A zombie dragon gets summoned. This beast was extinct 50 years ago, and now as a zombie, it's even beefier. The creature starts shaking, and Tamaya's like, what's going on? Apparently, his dragon control skill makes the beast follow him. The massive dragon starts stomping orcs like they're ants. Then, the dragon bounces back through a portal. In panic, the orc general's like, what's happening? And the MC drops a sword in front of him. Someone yells for the boy not to finish him off. The village girls are like, we want to take him down ourselves. Tamaya opens a portal, pulling out a bunch of weapons for them. Chill, the MC tells them to pick their fave and not to get hurt. Meanwhile, the orc general's begging for mercy, but it's a no-go. One by one, the girls take down the orc. That night, by a big bonfire, the MC's like, maybe I shouldn't have let them do that. But Lucia's grateful he saved the city and asks him to crash there. To him, Lucia looks a lot like a girl who died in a car crash. Lucia asks if something's up with her face, and he says she looks like someone he knew who passed a decade ago. The girl's surprised, and the MC says he's gonna hit the hay, but she stops him. Suddenly, Lucia calls Tamaya by name. The MC recognizes his school buddy, Sayaka. Super confused, the boy's wondering why she's there, and what's up with the dog ears. Lucia, now Sayaka, is puzzled by his weirdness, but he's just a bit freaked out. Sayaka asks if her friend died too, and he's like, probably. In the end, lots of time's passed, and they've both grown up. Then, the friends head to a room, and the girl asks if he's really Tamaya. Faced with the question, the MC's like, yeah, just 15 years older, but I still look young for 41. The boy asks his friend why she's there and how she got those dog ears. Sayaka explains they're wolf ears, not dog ears, and she's not sure how she got there, as her past memories just popped up. When she arrived, she was an orphan and got adopted by a family. So when she popped into this new world, she kept all her past life memories and ended up in Lucia's body. Wild, right? The girl spills the tea that her whole fam is gone, but they showered her with love and a cozy home. Now she's curious about what the MC is up to, but Tamaya's not keen on dragging her into his mission. Still, he spills that it's his first day in this world. Apparently, he's got a mission and won't stop till he nails it. Lucia's got a question for him. The city's a no-go for them now, so she wants him to take them to the capital. Even though the wolf girls are tough, they can't tackle all the drama on the way and are running low on snacks. So, hunting's a must, but the forest is crawling with scary monsters. The girl's got mad love for the village and everyone there, so she wants them safe and is ready to hook her friend up with a reward if he helps. Lucia offers herself as the reward to Tamaya. Before the MC can even react, she plants a kiss on him. She spills that she's crushing on him hard, and the boy checks if she's cool with that. Tamaya's gotta make a call and give her an answer. He's down for the deal, not out of duty, but 'cause he had a thing for her in his past life. Lucia, all emotional, tells Tamaya to be her hubby and admits she peeked at his diary. Looks like she snooped and knows all his quirky faves. Anyway, she digs the same weird stuff he does. The MC ends up accepting the girl as his partner and seals the deal. Tamaya can't hold back his feels and is stoked to be with his childhood buddy. After sealing the deal, he scores a new epic ability and levels up again. The duo starts reconnecting and learning new things about each other. Lucia's over the moon that they finally got this close. When they hit peak closeness, a blessing from the goddess of creation kicks in. Apparently, the slave who vibes with the boy will level up thanks to him. The two pals end up spending the whole night chilling and bonding. In the end, the night was a blast and the morning is just gorgeous. Tamaya's mind is blown that this was his first day in this world. Way before, far away, the boy was in a mad dash from a dragon. The MC ends up splashing into a pool of blood. The AI, Isis, starts gathering intel on him and sees he's in deep trouble, so it fires up the defense system with magic and muscle. Tamaya seizes the moment and blasts a mega spell at the dragon, taking it down. After a few hits, the MC spots the dragon's weak spot and nails it. Still, the damage isn't enough, so he cranks up the power. In the end, the dragon's toast and the emergency mode is off. The MC racks up experience points and levels up to 31. His wounds heal up fast thanks to his divine blessing. The boy wonders whose voice that is, and if it's some creator god. The mysterious voice says hey and reveals it's a program made to back him up. Basically, the AI doesn't have a fancy name, but Tamaya dubs it Isis, 'cause it sounds like a girl. The MC asks if Isis can help him get a grip on everything, and the AI says it'll take 88 hours. Right now, they're on a dragon mountain meant for level 99 and up only. It's a spot only seasoned squads explore 'cause it's super tough. Still, loads of adventurers bite the dust there, leaving Tamaya shook 'cause he got dropped there at level 1. Looks like the goddess of creation didn't think twice before tossing him into Danger Town. The MC decides they gotta bounce, and Isis suggests snagging the dragon first. Monsters in this world can be crystallized and turned into cool stuff. Adventurers can collect demon bodies and sell their parts for raw materials. Plus, fresh crystals can be generated through region. In this case, he should just leave it as a crystal, since it'll be a breeze to carry. The MC asks how far they are, and Isis says they're 1,000 kilometers from any civilization. Out of nowhere, a bunch of hostile dragons start closing in on the young dude. There are tons of them with insane power. Whoa, so check this out. A sacred emperor dragon, level 118 with a combat strength of 26,000, just pops up. Isis tells Tamaya this dragon's way stronger than the others. But our main dude's not backing down. No way he's letting it escape. In the end, he totally wipes out all those dragons. His level jumps to 71, and he scores a bunch of new titles and abilities. Taking down the Sacred Emperor Dragon seriously boosts his combat power. Tamaya's just glad he made it out alive. Isis suggests he should collect all the dragon bodies. Leaving them would be a rookie mistake. If you ditch a body without crystallizing it, it might come back as a zombie, and trust, it'll be way stronger and meaner. After that, the MC starts exploring and stumbles upon some ancient ruins. Inside, there's a dragon statue that looks just like the ones he fought. A spooky voice thanks the young dude. Tamaya's spooked, but the voice says chill, no need to freak out. Turns out, it's the emperor of the sacred mountain who fought off a demon army and lost all his buddies. This was where he ate everyone and got cursed on the mountain. In the end, the MC took down all the dragons, giving them the honor of a battle death. Now Tamaya can control dragons and fly. How epic is that? Freaked out, the MC says he doesn't need any reward, but the mysterious voice insists, super grateful and wants to give him something. Time's ticking, and as soon as he says his name, poof, the creature and statue vanish. Inside those ruins, the MC finds a stash of weapons, but one sword stands out. It's a sacred item, a sword that can slice through anything, no cap. A godly relic, its power just keeps growing, ignoring any armor or magic. Checking out a crystal ball, Tamaya jokes that nothing's weirder than that sword, but it's the ultimate jewel, combining godly power into one. Isis mentions all the titles and abilities he got from absorbing that jewel. Apparently, one ability makes any girl he likes unable to escape. Talk about OP. Later, the MC's flying around, living the dream. Then, Isis tells him about a nearby city where people are vanishing, one by one. Tamaya's like, no way they can ignore that, they gotta help out. And that's how he ends up in that city. Even on a rough day, he manages to protect Sayaka. The girl wakes up super hyped to see him first thing in the morning. A few days after the dragon chaos, they decide to hit the city, making sure they've got all the good stuff. Even though he thought he'd be lonely on night watch, a girl named Misha sticks by him. Tamaya thinks it's weird for the three of them to be together, but his buddy Lucia says Misha's not a kid. She's almost 18. Anyway, the MC doesn't want to be known in this world with those two girls who seem so young. Lucia tells her friend she wants him to train her. If it weren't for him, she'd be toast, so she wants to make sure the young dude's safe. To help her get stronger, the young man decides to train with her during the day and power up at night. Lucia worries their training might mess things up, but Tamaya's like, nah, it'll be cool. Since they started hanging out, the girl's power's been leveling up. A few days go by, and the MC tells his friend they've made serious progress and should reach their destination soon. Suddenly, Isis says they've detected vital signs nearby. Looks like the enemy force is like 15 humans and 22 monster dudes. His friend asks what's up, and the young man explains to everyone that enemies are coming, but no need to panic. A group of sketchy-looking guys rolls up, and Tamaya tells them to scram. They mock the young man, saying he should quit and they'll mess up his life. Meanwhile, the MC's debating if he should just finish them off. Lucia steps up, calling for her friend. The girl's all fired up and confident, asking the MC to let her handle the enemies. Seeing the situation, Tamaya's got her back and says he'll jump in if she needs help. The oddball dudes ask if the MC's lost his marbles for letting a teen face them. But with one epic punch, the girl knocks the block off one of them. Lucia, all fired up, tells them to get ready for a showdown. The thug leaders all, chill, don't freak out, but they're already shaking in their boots. Sayaka's power level's gone through the roof lately, and she wipes the floor with those thugs, no sweat. In a flash, the leader's yelling for them to scram ASAP. Tamaya rolls up to the girl saying that was sick, and she's all, thanks to you, dude. After sorting out the chaos, they finally hit the city. The city chief's kid, Lutar, is all, phew, you guys made it. Apparently, they were sweating bullets when they heard about the attack. City boss Gorman's like, so glad you girls are okay. He promises to keep them safe, and thanks Tamaya for having their backs, saying he can crash in the city. Tamaya crashes there for the night but can't catch any Z's. Something feels off. Even though staying seems chill, he knows he's gotta prep for the future, cause the attacks might get gnarly. Tamaya's thinking of joining the Adventurers Guild to make traveling a breeze. He's not planning to stick around forever and wants the girl to tag along, but it could get sketchy. The girl's like, I don't want to leave you, but I can't ditch my village peeps. She wants to help him out, but can't say no to staying put since she's just a slave. Tamaya's like, let's see the world together, and she's down with that. The duo uses the crack of dawn to train. In the morning, the MC wakes up on the wrong side of the bed. On his plate, there's a sneaky laxative bomb that could totally wreck him. Bet that's Lutar's doing, crushing on Sayaka and trying to boot Tamaya out. Still, the MC dodges that sneaky trap and heads to the guild with his buddy. At the Adventurers Guild, they sign up. The receptionist checks his stats with a crystal and says he's good to go as an adventurer. Adventurer ranks are all over the place, and they gotta take a test to see where they fit. A horned dude walks by and does a double take at the MC. The young dude's vibe totally grabs the adventurer's attention. Adven asks the crew to chat with him. He wants to borrow Tamaya's mad skills, cause they're way beyond newbie level. The MC's like, How did Adven figure out my secret power? Thanks to Isis, he's been keeping it under wraps. Adven's curious how a kid's packing so much power but knows Tamaya's not spilling the beans. Adven explains he can see through anyone's power level. He's also blown away by Sayaka's strength. He's met adventurers for ages, but never anyone like these two. Then Adven drops that meeting Tamaya was like facing the Demon King. The MC's like, dude, you're overhyping. But the horned guy insists he was in the war. He's sure of what he's saying. Still, the kid seems way nicer than the Demon King ever was. After that, he cuts the chit-chat and says if the MC takes the mission, there's a sweet reward. First off, 100 coins. Win or lose. Plus, the best room for Tamaya to crash in. If he nails the mission, another 1,000 gold coins and a level B adventurer start. Tamaya also gets a guild letter to visit any city on the continent. He's curious and asks about the mission, and Adven says it needs special skills. The MC wonders why not ask a rank S, and the guy says they're scattered all over. Tamaya thinks it over, wondering if he should take the mission. Then, he's like, I'm in. Adven says before they bounce, he wants to introduce someone and calls over a girl. Our hero gets all flustered, thinking, who's this stunner? The squad bounces out of the city, and Sonia spills the tea that she's gonna be the boy's sidekick and help him crush the mission. Adven introduces Sonia as a battle slave with mad skills and a top-tier adventurer badge. Turns out she's like a Swiss Army knife, ready to teach them all the adventurer hacks. Sonia's all, let's go smack some goblins. Tamaya's like, whoa, isn't that a bit much for noobs? Sonia gets all serious, saying if they can't handle goblins, they're toast for the mission. Tamaya's got no choice but to flex his real power. The goblin squad rolls up, and Sonia's like, watch this, and charges in to show off. She zaps up an electric wall, frying goblins like it's nothing. Her moves are slick, like she's dancing or something. After Sonia's epic show, the duo steps up to flaunt their skills. Tamaya's thinking he could roast those goblins in one hit, but nah, that's overkill. Then the MC tells Lucia to handle the right side while he takes the left. They dive in and wipe out the goblins in no time. Sonia calls out the MC, saying his moves looked kinda awkward. It's like he's holding back for some reason. This mission's a big deal. No room for screw-ups. Plus, she can boot him if he's not up to snuff. Seems like Sonia's got some past drama, and Tamaya agrees to unleash his full power. 512 goblins roll up, ready to rumble. Sonia's worried, saying there's way more than she thought, and Tamaya's like, perfect. With one move, he unleashes a firestorm, torching all the baddies instantly. After the dust settles, everyone levels up. Sonia's curious, asking what that was, and he's all, advanced fire magic. She's hyped, but then the MC spots something. It's the Goblin Emperor, wondering what's going down. Sonia explains he's the top goblin boss. Even though he's not super tough, Tamaya's got a strike while he's distracted. In seconds, the Goblin Emperor powers up, getting way stronger. Turns out he merged with his fallen crew and got a power boost. Lucia's stumped, and Sonia's like, I'll stall him. You guys call Adven for backup. The MC knows it's bad news if that baddie hits the city, so he's gonna take him down here. He tells Sonia to watch and see if he's mission-worthy. Tamaya gets up close to the giant goblin, who's raging and tries to smack him. But with one hand, the MC blocks the attack. Then, with his magic sword that slices anything, he cuts the giant goblin in half. His power and level skyrocket. Sonia's blown away, asking Tamaya to stick with her. The trio heads to the shopping hub, and the owner's like, what's up? Sonia says she wants Tamaya to buy her, cause he's the real deal. The owner's cool with it, and the MC's down too. After all, Sonia's strong, smart, savvy, and stunning. Sonia's owner says she'll be up for auction in a month, and everyone's eyeing her. Tamaya asks her price, and the dude says it starts at 5,000 gold coins. Right then, Lord Godman, the diplomacy bigwig, is throwing big bucks for her. Isis tells Tamaya this political dude's loaded and uses slaves for his gain, and the MC's not letting Sonia go, so he's like, I'll match that. Still, he thinks she's worth more than 5,000 gold and plans to drop 30 on her. The owner's freaking out, saying that's millionaire stuff, but the boy insists she's worth it. In the end, cash talks, and the highest bidder wins. As they leave, our heroes all, no way I'm letting her end up with some other dude. Later that night, the girls are chatting, and Sonia finds out Lucia's Tamaya's slave, not his GF. Lucia explains the guy's gonna be a hot target, cause everyone's got mad love for him. The girls decide to team up with the same goal. Strolling through the city, the MC munches on something super tasty. After hitting the city, first stop was meeting the guildmaster, Oldvin, who's Adven's bro. He dropped the bomb that the Silver Wolf tribes declared war, planning to attack the capital unless they get an offering, which is wild since those wolves usually chill with humans. Seems like the wolf leader and the queen used to be tight, but now she's too swamped to deal. So they decided to chill in the city a bit before cooking up some plans. Apparently, the news hasn't hit the city's peeps yet, and Tamaya figures they want to keep everyone chill. In the city center, a hooded lady catches his eye. The MC rolls up, and she's all about being hungry. Feeling bad for the mysterious old lady, Tamaya hands over some grub and gets ready to bounce. But the old lady stops him, saying she's gotta give him a reward, even though he's like, "Nah, I didn't do it for that." She thinks for a sec and jokes about repaying with her body, but she's loyal to her hubby. Then she asks if anything's bugging the MC and says she can sort it out for him. Even though she looks like a broke beggar, she claims she's a big deal on the continent. Suddenly someone calls her, and the old lady says next time they meet, she'll be his concubine. After she leaves, the MC's like, "What just happened?" At night, his two buddies roll up. The young dude's all confused about what's going down. Sonia starts acting kinda weird. The girl spills her intentions, and Tamaya's like, "I'm not your boss yet." Then, the girl says she's doing it 'cause she wants to. Lucia tells Tamaya to stop fighting it since the girl's keen to know him better. She's totally down to be with the young dude and see his true self. So, given the sitch, Tamaya's like, "Sure," and they decide to game it up. While gaming, the young dude notices Sonia's hair looks kinda pink for a sec. After the game, the girl asks if she did good, and the dude's like, "Yep." By then, Sonia's all about him, and Isis says the girl's basically his without a contract. Now he's gotta get even closer to the two girls. As more girls join the MC's squad, he unlocks new powers. For the rest of the night, the trio keeps having a blast and hanging out. Next day, they gather for war plans. Looter's there and asks Lucia if she's joining the mission, and she's like, "Yep." Freaked out, the long-haired dude says it's risky. His dad, Gorman, tells him to chill and stop being a goof. The big boss of the meeting, Lord Godman, walks in. The dude's short and not exactly a looker. Everyone bows, and the old guy sits, stoked to see them. Tamaya remembers hearing about this old dude before, and Isis says he's the guy who wants to buy Sonial. The plan to dodge a fight is to get into the heads of the Spirit Forest folks. That place is huge and has an unexplored dungeon. Deep in the forest, there are supposed ancient ruins with a mega treasure, which might stop the battle. The squad's got the MC's trio and Looter's dad, Gorman. Ariel's there too. Ariel and Sonial start chatting formalities until Ariel asks why the girl's with that wild young dude. Meanwhile, Looter's chasing Lucia like a headless chicken, trying to get her to chill. Gorman apologizes to Tamaya for all the silliness, saying his son's not bad, just a bit goofy sometimes. The MC laughs and says it's cool 'cause Looter's just living his best life. Gorman agrees, saying it's awesome for a young dude like the MC to be so chill. As they trek through the forest, the vibe shifts, like it's welcoming them, but they gotta stay sharp. Tamaya asks Lucia to chat with the wolves coming their way, since they're kinda similar. The girl tells the wolves they're there to spill the tea. One wolf leader says they won't back down unless humans agree to their deal. Humans gotta give back what they took from the wolves if they don't want a mess. Lucia's all puzzled, asking what treasure they're even talking about, and Tamaya's realizing this convo's going downhill fast. Tamaya grabs the wolf leader's attention. Spotting something off, the MC suggests they should spill what they know, but the grumpy wolf's all like, "Nah, not falling for human tricks that easy." So, the only move is to bounce. After filling in the squad, Ariel's all impressed with Tamaya's wolf whispering skills. Gorman's like, "No time for ping-ponging, let's split up." One squad with Lucia handles the talking, the other heads back to the city to figure stuff out and get folks out. Tamaya's like, "Since only me and Lucia speak wolf, we gotta stay to keep everyone safe." Looter's throwing a tantrum, insisting he'll stay to guard Lucia. Tamaya's like, "Dude, you'll just slow us down." The teen's yelling at everyone, even his dad. Fed up, the MC's like, "I'll stay solo. Only my neck's on the line." Lutar's convinced Lucia's only safe with him around. Lucia's had enough, and bam, punches him right in the face. She's fuming, asking who he thinks he is. Sayaka steps in, telling him to quit acting like she's his wife, 'cause she's already claimed by the hero. Clearly she's super mad. The MC recalls when she was a kid beating up bullies for him. To chill things out, Tamaya asks Lucia to cool it and say sorry. In the end, he decides to stay in the forest solo for the talks. But Ariel sticks around too, 'cause Lucia's feeling all kinds of emotional. Even though she can't speak wolf, having a noble around might help the wolves trust the deal. Ariel's griping about Lutar and Tamaya's like, "He's just a kid, even if he should act more grown up." Curious, the MC asks Ariel's age, and she says she's just 10. Seems like she's there to meet high expectations, but really, she just wants to be a regular kid. Trying to lighten the mood, Tamaya says she's adorable, like a little doll. Getting closer, he promises to protect her, so she doesn't need to stress. Ariel's totally charmed and wants to stick with him. Then, a wolf pops up, cutting off their chat. He says he's checking in 'cause they're late. but he's not getting the whole picture. The wolf asks if the humans have made up their minds, and the MC says he's the one doing the talking. He even suggests chatting without weapons to show he's serious about the deal. Then he mentions seeing if Tamaya can meet the Emperor. Later, they head to where the wolf royalty is. As they get closer, the Silver Wolf Emperor's amazed humans got there without freaking out. The young guy thanks the Emperor for the meetup. Trying to get the scoop, the MC asks about the stolen treasure and any sacrifices needed. The Emperor's like, no clue about sacrifices, but the treasure's the Silver Wolf's power jewel, left by the last Emperor. Tamaya asks if Ariel's heard of this jewel, and she remembers Godman saying with 2 more jewels, he'd be unstoppable. Apparently, with 5 supreme jewels, you can rule the world. Though it looks like just a crystal from the Emperor's death, it can be absorbed for mad power. Tamaya asks if snagging the Emperor's jewels works, and the wolf says 3 can be anywhere, but 2 are special. Those are the Dragon Emperor's jewel and the Apex jewel. Unlike magic crystals, jewels need the Emperor to make them. The wolf says the Apex jewel's location is a mystery, and in the wrong hands, it's bad news. The MC asks if the Dragon Emperor's jewel is on their mountain, and the wolf confirms, curious how the young guy knows. Tamaya explains he's got 3 of those jewels. Looking closer, the wolf confirms it's legit. The Emperor of the Sacred Mountain handed over that jewel, which is kinda hilarious because in the end, he ended up trusting a human with it. Meanwhile, things are getting pretty dicey, and the Wolf Emperor is super curious about what the MC plans to do with those jewels. He spills that it's a tough call and he didn't even know these jewels were a thing until now. His mission? Hunt down the Wolf Emperor's jewel and give it back to its OG owner. The MC is all in for the task, and the Wolf Emperor stresses that getting that artifact back is crucial for his master plan. The Emperor mentions that keeping the young ones in check won't last long, and they might storm the capital any minute, so they gotta hustle. Plus, they need to snag the jewel before his mom kicks the bucket. Wolf pups pop up in front of the duo. The Emperor says sorry for the chaos his pups caused. Those adorable little furballs are the future Wolf Emperors. When the squad rolls back into the city, they hit up Godman for a chat. Gorman grills Godman if it's true that something from the wolves got jacked, since the whole deal is full of plot holes, and he wants answers. Tamaya jumps in, saying they can squash the beef if they return the jewel and asks Godman where it's at. Godman starts acting all wild, claiming he's never heard of that jewel. Seeing the sitch, the MC flashes the jewels he has and asks if the dude wouldn't swap his for some of these. He tries to explain he's thinking of selling that jewel since he's clueless about what to do with them, and Godman is shook. The minister throws out 1,000 gold coins for the jewels, but Tamaya's like, nah, that's way too low. Since they're legendary pieces, they should fetch more than 20,000, so Godman freaks out and says he'll give everything he's got to snag them. Curious, Tamaya asks if Godman has 120,000 gold coins. The MC wonders if it's really worth that much, and the Bastion confirms, saying he'll sort it out by handing over the cash. Then, the old dude eagerly snatches the jewels for scoring them. Checking out the scene, the young guy asks again if he's never heard of the wolf jewel, and the little bearded dude denies it. The minister even tells Tamaya to convince the wolves they're tripping. That night, Godman lays out all the jewels he owns on the table and tries to absorb them. Even though it's midnight, nada happens. Flying in the sky, the MC swoops in, spotting the short dude with the 5 jewels. Isis can guard those jewels to stop the wrong peeps from snatching them, and this helped Tamaya figure out who had the wolf jewel. Sorting things out, he grabs the wolf jewel and returns it to its rightful owners. But while carrying that thing, it just gets absorbed by his body. Isis explains that, without meaning to, a person shouldn't be able to absorb a jewel, and now he's stumped on how to explain it to the wolves. Even worse, after absorbing a jewel, apparently, it's a no-go to get it back. Tamaya realizes he has no choice but to say sorry and heads to the forest. When he gets there, the vibe is off, and with the scent of blood, they're surrounded by wolves. A massive barrier pops up to stop the young guy from bailing. The wolves are ready to pounce and take him down. The animals are going all-out attack mode, ignoring defense to hit Tamaya and finish him off. After taking a hit from the wolf, the MC loses a ton of HP. Seeing the sitch, he feels things are spiraling out of control. Looks like all the wolves got cursed, and now the Emperor wants the young guy to fix it. There's no turning back, and they've done something unforgivable. Tamaya grabs his sword and agrees to let them rest. The Wolf Emperor thanks him, and in no time, the MC manages to end their suffering. Tamaya feels super bad for taking out the wolves, even the pups. The system starts rambling about crystallization and a new reincarnation ability. When the crystallization wraps up, something magical goes down. The ghost of Emperor Wolf suddenly shows up. The ghost floats over to the MC and hands him his crystal, saying the boy's been blessed by him and he's grateful for his help. Still, the young guy feels guilty for not doing more. Trying to ease the guilt trip, Emperor Wolf explains that the curse is unfixable and the best way out is death. Finally, the Emperor says he's got 2 last favors to ask the young guy. Alright, buckle up, cause this story's about to get wild. So, first up, there's this ghost of some wolf cubs, right? They're super strong but still kinda babyish, so they need a little help. Then Tamaya's gotta take these spirit crystals to his mom. After that, poof, Emperor Wolf's gone, and the ghost of the Union of Cubs pops up to show the way. It's already morning, and this bird's totally spilling the tea while eyeing our main dude. Meanwhile, some weird horned baddie's checking out Tamaya, totally impressed by his skills. And get this, Godman's just chilling, sipping wine with a dead lady in bed. Classy, right? Suddenly, a devil's messenger shows up, calling Godman a total fool for losing something handed to him on a silver platter. Godman's all, no way, I've got all the precious stones. But the demoness is like, nah, the magic in that thing's weak sauce, can't be what I gave you. She starts wondering who could pull off such a trick and then just laughs it off. The demoness is over it, saying she doesn't need any more human screw-ups. Godman's only job is to be useful to demons, nothing else. The lady's so done with that continent, she's thinking about blowing it all up. Meanwhile, Tamaya and Lucia are off to find the wolf's mom. When they find her, she's huge, like, whoa. The she-wolf's all, I've been expecting you, like she already knows why they're there. Turns out, her son filled her in on everything before he passed. She asked Tamaya to explain what's going down and he's like, sure, but even I don't get it all. After the rundown, the she-wolf's bummed that the curse hit even the little cubs who couldn't fight back. It's a nasty curse, and ages ago, the guy who made it got attacked by one of his own cursed creatures. No sorcerer can break it, but her son died peacefully, knowing it was the best choice. The MC hands over the wolf's crystal, and she takes it. Then she's got a favor to ask Tamaya. The she-wolf wants to find an old buddy, the kingdom's princess. Tamaya's like, I get it, but how's that gonna work with you being a giant wolf? The she-wolf's got a plan for Lucia, 'cause only she can carry her spirit where it needs to go. Looks like the she-wolf wants to borrow Lucia's body, but it'll end when she dies. Lucia's cool with it, and the MC's like, you sure? Lucia figures the she-wolf really wants to see her friend one last time, and she's down to help. With that sorted, the she-wolf hops into Lucia, boosting her power. Tamaya's all, let's head back to the castle, but Lucia's got a pit stop in mind. She wants to make graves for her village pals who didn't make it. Lucia's feeling off, and Tamaya notices. They start chatting about death, and Lucia plants a kiss on the MC. Lucia's glad her friend got a second chance in this world with her, and the boy feels bad for not saving everyone. But she says it couldn't be helped. Sayaka's all, I love you, Tamaya. Lucia's like, call me Sayaka, but let's hang as Lucia. Back at the castle, Adven's there, amazed Tamaya handled all those wolves. That's S-rank stuff, so Tamaya shouldn't stay in B rank much longer. The MC's like, chill, I'm cool with starting in B rank, but the guy's set on making the most of Tamaya's skills. Oh, and plot twist, Godman's vanished, so Sonia's now Tamaya's. The girls are all emotional, and the MC's like, what happened to Godman? Turns out he's been MIA for ages, and when they checked his place, they found all sorts of shady stuff, like slave theft. Since it's a sticky situation, they didn't declare him missing, just said he's on the run and put up wanted posters. In the end, they found nada, and it's still a mess. Now the queen's here, and they gotta meet her. The squad gathers, and the queen's entrance is announced. Everyone bows, and she tells them to look up. When the MC does, he sees the queen's face and realizes she's the homeless lady who called him in the city. Mind blown. He's totally freaking out. And the queen's all, dude, you look like you've seen a ghost. Her guard's like, stop staring at her with that goofy face, man. The MC's all embarrassed, apologizing, and the queen's chill, saying she's grateful for all he's done for the peeps. She starts chatting about the wolf race, and Tamaya's like, oh, the wolf emperor's mom wants a word with you. The queen's super hyped to hear about her old buddy. Lucia rolls up, channeling the wolf to chat with the queen. Turns out, they haven't seen each other in 50 years, and the queen hugs the girl with the wolf spirit. They missed each other tons, but meeting up's tricky since they're from totally different worlds. Life was way easier when they were young and wild. The queen's like, wish we could hang more, but her friend says it's a goodbye 'cause her time's up. The queen's bummed to be solo again, but they're stoked to have this last hangout. Queen Hilda's like, can I see your real face before you peace out? The wolf's down and shows her true form outside the castle. The queen's pumped to see her old pal, but the guards freak out and tell her to step back. Tamaya's like, I'll take you to your friend. The queen chuckles, saying her friend's grown huge over the years, which is why she couldn't come back. Their time together was epic, but once the queen got the throne, having a monster BFF was a no-go. They're super happy to reunite, but the wolf's gotta bounce soon. The wolf tells Tamaya he can keep her crystal and use it for good. Then she says goodbye to her old friend, hoping she stays healthy. After that, the wolf takes a forever nap. The MC absorbs her power, and the queen's like, time to party, cause this dude just saved the continent. Inside the castle, the queen gives Tamaya a noble title. In this world, being nobility means you get some land, which the MC usually wouldn't want. No promises other nobles won't try to snatch it, and it'll just be a headache. To avoid that mess, he needs some serious power so no one tries anything dumb. The young dude decides to keep the land in his name only on paper, not actually running it. Then the queen asks if Tamaya wants to change his noble name. The young guy's like, call me Sadoshima. On top of all this, the queen's got one more gift for him. Ariel, a soldier, wants to roll with him. The girl's got a noble gig but is ready to ditch it to be his sidekick. At first, the MC's worried, but Sonia's like, chill, she's smart and a beast in battle. At night, when the young dude's in his room, someone shows up. Sonia comes over, saying she's got something to spill before they start their bond. She asks if the MC's heard of the Master of Markerfok, and he's like, nope. There was this awesome island, now taken over by the Demon King. 4 years back, the girl fought for her life with her martial arts skills. In the end, she lost everything. It was a mess, and she feels if the young dude had shown up sooner, he could have saved her continent. After that, the girl kneels, saying she's stoked to be Tamaya's servant. Seeing this, the young dude tries to cheer her up. The night gets way better after they bond. For Tamaya, it's weird, but he vibes with every girl who becomes his servant. At first, he thought he'd feel bad for being with Sonia after Lucia, but now he's cool with it. He loves them all the same. They got so hyped, the girl's seal broke and her wings popped out. Turns out, Sonia's a demon. The next day, they hit up the trading company. The MC starts to get that demons aren't always buddies, cause the demon lord wrecked a demon tribe. In the end, the young dude dropped 30,000 gold pieces to buy Sonia. Even though buying stuff like this is a total loss for the biz, Tamaya jumps into the space shopping spree. Seeing Tamaya's interest, the shop owner asks him to bring some folks over. First up, a tall, bearded, and super hairy dude walks in, but the MC's like, nah, next. Then, out of nowhere, Misha pops in and gives Tamaya a big hug. The shopkeeper says she just got here and she's a divine beast. She's a rare species, only shows up sometimes cause of a mutation. The shopkeeper's like, take her away and bring the next one. But Tamaya's already set on buying her. The last item of the day is something they won't see for thousands of years. It's an elf ancestor, and she introduces herself as Tinal Nina Noor. Tamaya asks her age, and she casually drops, 719 years old. She's got a special thing, only follows a master with magic power, so if he ain't got it, he ain't worthy. The MC asks how she checks for magic power. She steps up and says, just shake my hand, but when he does, she totally freaks out. Making weird noises, she starts shaking. Tina's like, I've made my choice. Looks like she's already into him and says she doesn't want any other master but Tamaya. Going with the flow, the MC's like, I'll buy both Tina and Misha. Now he's got 2 more squad members, adding to his girl team. Later, in front of a massive house, Tamaya's blown away by its size. A maid rolls up and greets him, calling him Milord. Her name's Marianne, and she's here to take care of the place. The MC tries to say hi, but she already knows him because she volunteered to be his maid. Before this, she was an adventurer but took a break to switch roles. Turns out Marianne's a big deal S-rank adventurer but now wants to be just Maria. She spent years adventuring and fighting huge monsters and dragons. But when a giant wolf showed up, she freaked until Tamaya came in, no sweat. The MC's like, I didn't do anything special, and she's like, for you? Maybe not, but I knew then I was meant to serve you. Marianne's from the Draconian fam, so the MC's dragon skills work on her too, and she knows he has a jewel from that species. Now she's not adventuring, but besides handling the house, she can also keep it secure when the MC's away. Trying to get it, the MC asks if she shouldn't join the team to fight with him, but she's like, being an adventurer's nothing compared to taking care of your house. He says he'll leave the mansion to her, and she's like, one last thing, let's do a servitude contract like with the others. Now, the boy's got more servants than he should, and his dominator skills are leveling up big time. While he's dominating and she's thanking him, Isis tells Tamaya that the more time he spends with the girls, the stronger he gets. After that, Marianne says she'll start by introducing everyone who joined the MC's team. Turns out, they're girls from Lucia's village. Marianne thought hiring people the boy knew would be safer. Originally, all these girls were from the Amold house, but Misha got assigned to him, and Lucia ended up at the slave market. So, everyone in the village naturally drifted from that house. Lucia's all emotional, thinking she should end all those girls right there. Anyway, Tamaya's super hyped to see so many pretty girls ready to serve him. The MC's life now is all about city trips, adventuring, and chilling at home with his girls. He decided to get to know the 3 new slaves better, starting with Tina. She's chill about it since she was first and digs Tamaya a lot. But the MC's feeling awkward because Tina's tiny and looks like a kid. Leaving a girl hanging after all this isn't cool. So the young dude and Tina hang out playing video and board games. At some point, the girl gets super tired and it's time to chill with Ariel. Tamaya zooms over. They decide to binge a series, and the girl lets out a high-pitched scream during the epic parts. The last person the dude wants to hang with all night is Misha. Chill time is the highlight of Tamaya's day, and he loves getting to know Misha even better. The MC is stoked because now he's got a squad of loyal homies. With this crew, the adventurer's life is about to get way more epic. 50 years ago, a demon from the underworld just popped up out of nowhere. Back then, he noticed the air was chill, and the world seemed pretty friendly. The dude had a mysterious potion with him. Then he ran into giant killer ants and thought, perfect test. Subjects. He realizes his experiments are about to kick off, and soon, chaos will reign. Our hero hits up the guild to snag his reward for the mission he crushed. It's been 2 weeks since the wolf bit the dust, and since then, Tamaya's smashed 4 missions, always leveling up. First, they took down some wild wolf pups. Then, they gathered materials. They also hit a dungeon and wiped out a troll squad. The guild receptionist says the master wants to see Tamaya when he gets back, but no rush since he returned early. It's probably an S-rank mission. With all the fighting and new allies, his power's off the charts. Same for his crew, who are getting stronger. Sonia rolls up to Tamaya and suggests they take a break before meeting Oldvine. Not wanting to seem lazy, she jokes that it's just 'cause she's never seen her master chill before. With a laugh, the MC thinks it's probably 'cause he was a workaholic in his past life. So he agrees to take a break, but first, they gotta check if Oldvine's request is urgent. The squad heads to the guildmaster's room, who's shocked they've already finished the last mission. Oldvine's pumped the young dude answered his call, 'cause the sooner the problem's solved, the better. Apparently there's a tower reporting weird killer ants. These bugs aren't usually aggressive or strong solo, but they multiply fast and can be a big headache. Plus, they build nests and can munch on humans if needed. This happens every 5 years, so they just gotta prep and not freak out. But this time, the ants built their nest where the last ones were squashed. This has never happened before, but now even scholars are dropping theories about what's up. It's probably linked to the demon lord's appearance. Tamaya remembers one reason he was reincarnated was to take down that demon lord. The young dude's ready to face the enemy, but he's clueless about its strength. Usually Tamaya's used to RPGs, where you level up before facing the boss. Since this is real life and not a game, losing isn't an option. It seems the demon's power is growing, and that's a big yikes. Meanwhile, the queen's forming a squad to handle it. They're calling all adventurers to help out. The trip there takes 5 days by carriage. To show he's serious about solving the problem, Oldvine offers triple pay for the boys' help. The problem hasn't blown up yet, but they gotta prep before it does. Even though it's a headache, ignoring it isn't an option. Tamaya takes the mission and says they'll rest today and head out soon. At home, Maria thinks those ants aren't that tricky. She's been in groups fighting these bugs before. Each ant's easy for a D rank, but not when they're in a swarm. Last year, 500 people handled them, but 15 years ago, it took over 6,000 to beat them with a struggle. Marianne mentioned she was in that event 15 years ago. The monsters started acting different, even the goblins. Weird stuff started happening after that. Recently, this kind of thing's been happening again. Tamaya figures the demon lord's appearance is probably connected. Marianne's all, "Yo, you bouncing tomorrow?" And the dude's like, "Yup, that's the plan." She's hyped, saying she'll be there to see them off and whip up some bomb food before they dip. Tamaya jumps in, "Man, your dragon sandwich is legendary." Marianne's heart meter is maxed out, thanks to his epic skills and chill vibes. With their friendship level up, maybe it's time to hang with her like Sonia and the squad. More quality time, you know? Next morning, they're vibing over a chess game. Every move Tamaya makes, Marianne's getting more pumped. The game's lit until he finally wins, leaving Marianne to chill and recharge. Later, she's outside, waving goodbye to the crew. The other girls peep that the maid's extra smiley, and now they all get primo hang time with the boss. The squad hops in the carriage, ready to roll out. They hit the city and chat with the Lord, who drops the bomb that killer ants have taken out like 24 people. Flashback to 15 years ago, there were like 300 ants in the anthill. Sure, the MC could one-punch them all, but that's too easy, right? They decide to start the hunt tomorrow, but first, grub time. The cafe's packed, so they squat up with other adventurers at a table. Introductions go down, and the adventurers are shook, recognizing Sonia. She's blushing hard, turns out she's more famous than anyone guessed. Everyone's mind blown, especially since Tamaya's clueless about her past and fame. Next day, the crew's out exploring and finds the ant's crib. MC's like, "Sonia, you've battled these bugs before, got any pro tips?" She spills that their spit is like acid, so dodging is key. Tamaya's not a fan of bugs, especially mega-sized ones. An ant rolls up to attack, but Tina's got it, roasting it with fire. The girls charge in, taking on the baddies. While they're scrapping, Tamaya's like, "Cover Tina, squad!" An ant sneaks up on Sonia, and the MC's gotta swoop in to save her. After the rescue, his sword levels up with a new power. MC's like, "Yo, ISIS, scan for enemy numbers." The AI does its thing, checking out the ant's lair. ISIS maps it out, finding 340 ants with different difficulty levels. With the intel, Tamaya's like, "ISIS, pinpoint those baddies." Feeling flashy, MC pretends he's going Super Saiyan. In no time, ants are flying out of the nest. Game over for them. All ants are toast. Mission complete. MC thinks it's a wrap, but Sonia's like, "Hold up, this might be worse than we thought. These ants are way tougher and weirder than before. Even the boss ant wasn't this OP back in the day." Tamaya's like, "Yeah, this power-up's a problem, but let's grab the loot and bounce." He scoops up all the wrecked ants and their eggs. Looks like all the ant hills got wrecked too, so they're safe for now. Back in town, Tamaya spills the tea on what went down. The local leader's sweating. The ants' power-up is a big deal. Seems like all the monsters here are juiced up and crazy strong. Now they gotta figure out the game plan for when the military rolls in. Meanwhile, local soldiers are scouting for more ant nests. Tamaya's like, "Chill, poking the ants will just make it worse." A week flies by. Stona's acting all chicken in front of Tamaya. His adventurer buddies are like, "Dude's a total wimp." Palpatine's like, "MC doesn't seem all that, who knew he was a noble?" The crew's like, "Stay focused, man." Tamaya bounces and runs into Adven and Siegmund. Adven's got the scoop. Adventurers and soldiers are on ant duty. Turns out, there are 35 anthills around. Tamaya's smashed 28 of them so far. He left some for his pals, didn't want to hog all the action. But now, something weird's popped up. One of the anthills is getting way more ants than it can handle. The vibe is totally off, so someone needs to check it out. Out of nowhere, a soldier pops up, saying they're in deep trouble. 7 giant Kaisers with power levels over 50,000 showed up, but they vanished just as quick, leaving only one behind. The Ant Empress, who looks more like a flying alien, shows up. A squad stands in front of this weird thing, saying it's super tiny. Siegmund's freaking out, telling everyone to scram. Checking out the scene, the MC says that even though she's called the Empress of Evolution, that killer ant is super weird. And Sonia's nodding. Tamaya's all fired up, telling everyone to bounce because he's gonna take on that freaky thing. The dude asks Isis what she knows about this opponent, but she's like, "Not in the system, never seen it before." Still, if he can keep the fight going long enough, they can gather some dope data. Tamaya goes in for an attack, but the enemy blocks it like it's no big deal. Then the thing starts mumbling weird stuff and lands a hit on our hero. Even though their power levels are worlds apart, it breaks through his defense fast. The evil ant chomps down on the piece it ripped from the guy's skin. Then it morphs. Now it looks more human and says his flesh is tasty. Ticked off, the evolutionary empress yells about how he dared to mess with her crew and screams he'll pay. Her power's over 266,000. The thing is, the empress can munch on more of the guy and get even stronger. Tamaya uses his healing power and then busts out his fire magic. Now he's got all the intel he needs on her and doesn't need to mess around. With a perfect strike, the MC nails the Ant Empress right in the chest. She's mad he knew exactly where her core was. Even though she lost, the Empress says she's not bummed out in the end. The hero absorbs her core, and his level goes nuts, even though it's just one opponent's core. Everyone there is hyped about the win. Later, Tamaya heads back to his spot and finds a girl crying because Stona's not looking good. The MC asks what went down, and Palpatine says she confessed while he was running, and the guy had to cover for her. Thinking hard, Tamaya realizes he only has healing power but can't stop someone from dying. Right then, Isis tells him he got a new divine resurrection magic. The guy kneels by Stona, and in no time, he wakes up super alive. Even so, he feels weaker after using the power. All the girls there are blown away by his skills. A few days roll by, and finally, Tamaya makes it back home with his girls. Using the resurrection power wiped him out for 3 days. When he finally wakes up, all his crew rushes to him, crying and all emotional. After bouncing back, Tamaya checks his status window and sees his magic power and skills shot up big time. This probably happened because he used his strength and vitality, but even though he has recovery power, if he overdid it, he could have big problems. Now, with his life force back, his combat power's also up. Right now, his combat strength is almost hitting 20 million. At home, Maria's been waiting patiently. Then the guy asks if anything went down while he was gone. The maid says the queen wants to reward him for fighting the ants. Maria says they wanted Tamaya to hit up the palace when he got back, but she told them if they wanted to thank him, they should come over themselves. Now the queen's chilling in his living room, and the MC thinks she's super chill. He meets with the queen, who's really ticked about the maid's sass. But he's not shocked that Marianne's into Tamaya. The guy's surprised the queen knows Maria. Her Highness explains that years ago, they both liked the same dude, and the MC's confused if they're the same age. Chill, the woman explains that dragon folks live way longer than humans. Marianne walks in and says she doesn't want her master hearing about her love life. Sure, the last guy was cute, but he can't compare to the current one, and the queen's like, wow, can't believe she admitted that. Finally, the queen says she was thinking of giving Tamaya something else from the nobility, and the guy asks if that's not a sweet upgrade. The lady's all, honestly, he didn't even deserve that, but the fancy folks around her are super old school and strict. Still, she's set on giving Tamaya what she thinks is fair, and the dude's realizing that being noble is a whole mess. Finally, it's time for her to bounce, and she tells him to roll up to the palace in a week for the big event. He nods and asks for some epic grub. The queen chuckles, saying nobody beats Maria's cooking, but she'll try her best. Later, Tamaya's just chilling in his new tub. Someone knocks, and it's his maids, wanting to thank him, thinking just working isn't enough. So, they all decide to hang out with him. Turns out, the maids are actually little demons in disguise. After bonding, they form a sealed connection. The girls didn't plan for this, but it just happened. They're worried Tamaya might freak out about them being demons. But he's all, nah, you're all cool, doesn't matter. Now they want to chill more with him. So they all decide to play some card games for kicks. After the games, Tamaya's like, that was awesome, guys. 4 years back, Tamaya's ex and his boss ended up in a lake, too much partying after the boy's funeral. Normally, they'd just be gone. But they got the reincarnation hookup. And guess what? Tamaya's in the world they're heading to. But the dude bringing them back can't say where he is, so the girls gotta find him themselves. The long-haired guy's glad they're chill with it and not causing drama, but Tamaya's ex-boss has some demands. The girl wants to come back as a 15-year-old, no aging, superpowers, the whole shebang. After listing a million things, the guy's got no choice but to agree. Then the resurrection starts, and right before they vanish, he drops the bomb that they're gonna face the Demon King. In a village in that world, the girls are ticked off that the killer ant's mission's already done. They haven't eaten right in 3 days and can't find any gigs for cash. They're in a bar, wondering what to do since they've been hunting for the ex for 4 years with no luck. Then they overhear Stona saying he owes Tamaya a thank you. Hearing that name, they're shook and ask who he's talking about. The girls get hyped but then pull back and reveal who they are. Stona and Palpatine are stunned, recognizing those S-level adventurers. A week earlier, Tamaya was home, wiped from the last mission. He even hit up the castle ceremony to get bumped to S rank. He also got a love necklace for the slaves, but it's kinda meh with his skills. Lucia was stoked to get that necklace, and when they got home, he cloned it a bunch and handed it to his other maids. Knowing they'll face tougher baddies, he decided to arm each servant with a powerful weapon. After that, Marianne wanted to register the other maids as adventurers. The MC was down, since maid duty included house defense. Marianne's on board to train them, alternating with Sonia. Another day, Tina asks him to visit her old village, and Tamaya's like, sure, why not? He tells the elf if she wants to find her pals, they should jet ASAP. That spirit forest is deep, and he's never really checked it out. Now with his maid, he can explore the place. While flying over the forest, Tamaya asks where her village is, but Tina's never left, so she's clueless. Isis has a guess on the village's spot, so no stress. Near a mist, the MC asks if she remembers it, and Tina says it's to hide the village. Normally, humans can't pass, but with Tina, they're good. The duo goes through the mist hiding the village. The place is packed with tiny tree houses, like a fairy tale come to life. Isis is on the lookout, counting how many peeps are around. A lady rolls up, all smiles, saying she's missed Tina big time. The little girl checks in, asking how everyone's doing, and the lady's like, all good, thanks to you. Then, the squad gathers for a chat. During the convo, the lady thanks Tamaya for getting Tina back safe and sound. She introduces herself as Tifarnia, the village's go-to gal. Curious, the MC asks how Tifarnia knows Tina, and the girl spills that she's her younger sis. Our hero's brain is doing somersaults, and Tina explains her sis is just 300 years young. In the end, Tifarnia's over the moon to see her sis again. Even though they're sisters, they look totally different. Curious, Tamaya asks why Tina bounced from the village. Turns out, ages ago, a snake called Mana Eater crashed the party, and it got messy. As a last-ditch move, they whipped up a spell only Tina could pull off, and it worked, sending the snake packing. But later, the magic circle went all teleporty, and to save her crew, Tina pushed everyone away and got zapped. In the chaos, she lost some power, couldn't get back, and got nabbed by a slave trader. With Tina MIA, Tifarnia, being the second strongest, stepped up as the village rep. Tamaya finally gets that Tina was the village boss. The village's magic shield kept them safe for ages, but now it's glitching, and monsters are sneaking in. They tried patching it up, but no dice. Without Tina, they're in a pickle, but Tifarni is feeling hopeful now. With Tina back, they can fix the barrier and chill together again. Tina breaks it to them that her powers are still MIA, so she can't help with that. Plus, she's now Tamaya's slave and she just wanted to check on her fam. Her sis asks if she's ditching them and Tina's like, nah. She's scoped out the barrier and knows it's toast. Since it's all going downhill, her plan is to move everyone out. But Tifarni is clueless about where to go. Chill. Tina's got a plan and asks Tamaya if the elves can crash at his place. They won't croak if they become his slaves, plus they'll have a blast. Everyone's giving the MC the side eye. Tina starts begging, saying it's all she wants. The MC caves and says he's got room for them. His palace is massive with loads of empty rooms, so it's no biggie. The other elves are not vibing with it, thinking Tamaya's brainwashed Tina into thinking being a slave is lit. While they're whispering, there's a ruckus outside. Looks like the barrier's busted again, and killer snakes are crashing the party. The elves freak out at the sight of the snakes. Tina's unfazed, telling them if they become the hero's slaves, they'll be safe, leaving Tamaya gobsmacked. Then, the MC notices the snakes aren't attacking, just chilling, like they're waiting. A demon pops up, saying he's finally found the elves' crib. Excited, the horned girl's hyped about the score for the Demon King. Tamaya's clueless, asking who she is, and the little demoness is ticked there's a human around. The possessed girl introduces herself as Lirul, one of the top 7 demons in the world. Tamaya's poking fun at the demoness, teasing her. Then the girl's like, I'm gonna end you. The snakes slither towards him, ready to pounce, but the MC handles it in a flash. After the snakes are toast, Tamaya asks what her game plan is. The horned one busts out her secret power, the tempting gaze. That magic's supposed to make any dude fall head over heels for her. Tamaya fakes being under her spell and starts going in for a smooch. His charm skill kicks in, and the demon's swooning. Watching the scene, all the other elves are buzzing. In no time, Lirul's charmed by his mojo and turns into an angel. After her, Tamaya starts winning over the elves, one by one. When it's Tifarnia's turn, things get wild, cause she's never felt anything like it before. Now she's hoping he's gonna love her forever and ever. Everyone's got these cute little angel wings now, heading back to the leader's crib. Tamaya's not about keeping Lirul locked up, cause that could totally backfire on him later. He dodged her spell thanks to Isis, the real MVP. The squad's flying by the royal palace of Drumrolts, thinking about dropping in on the queen for a surprise visit. But hold up. The hero spots a war going down below and is totally shook. Looks like the two empires are going at it, full-on battle mode. The queen's been keeping the peace with her epic negotiation skills, but things are getting dicey. There's a chill zone nearby to dodge the war, but Tamaya's pad isn't there. He's not about that war life, but if his girls get caught up, it's game over. So Tamaya's like, let's hold off on visiting the queen. She's probs busy with all that. Back home, Sonia's got the welcome wagon ready. Everything's set for the newbies. Maria's all, are those elves gonna be knights or maids? And he's like, how'd you know I was bringing peeps? Marianne spills the tea, saying when he vibes with new girls, her level goes up, so everyone knows the deal. Lucia wants a word with Tamaya, saying some folks want to see him. Boom, his pals from the other world show up. The MC's heard of these S-rank adventurers, but now he's like, wait, I know these two. The girls are bawling, super emotional to see him again. He's stoked to reunite with them too. They all sit down for a chat, and Tamaya's blown away that the girls have been searching for him all this time. It's kinda sus they've been looking for 4 years, cause he only popped back 2 months ago. Then they realize, oh snap, the god played them. Lucia's hyped everyone's together, and the girls can't believe she also came from that other world. Shizune and Misaki are amazed by all the big shots serving the young man. They notice everyone's rocking slave collars. The girls try to explain they're there by choice, even as slaves. Lirul steps up, saying she ended up in the same boat, and Tamaya's like, I turned her into an angel, so she's chill now. To keep it cool, he breaks down how he turned that demoness into an angel. Shizune's pumped to join Tamaya's crew. Her feelings for him haven't changed since her past life. Out of nowhere, Shizune's all excited about signing up as his slave, but he's like, nah, not like that. The other slaves say it's just a way of speaking. Shizune tells Misaki they should stick around, but Misaki's like, we gotta deal with the god. But since the god already duped them, the deal's off. To sort it out, Tamaya offers to help them take down the Demon King if it's such a big deal. Turns out, the goddess who brought him back also wanted him to beat the Demon King. Misaki's not cool with sitting back while demons invade, killing loads of people, so Tamaya asks about the enemy's army size. The Demon Lord's army is massive and organized, but no one knows where he's hiding. Lirul starts explaining that a few years back, Humans tried getting close to demons and got snatched, among other things. Sonia asks if Anya was mixed up in it. She says most were dudes, but yeah, she's got her part in it. She knows this might make them not want her around anymore. Trying to chill things out, Tamaya says the convo's getting messy. The demon angel apologizes, owning up to her past. Even as a slave now, her sins won't just vanish. If anyone's got beef with her, they should speak up. Sonia quickly grabs her weapon and snips some of Anya's hair. Then she takes a deep breath, saying it's pointless to fight over it now. Tamaya's relieved, saying it looks like the drama's over and they can all live together in peace. Anja's all fired up, ready to go out in a blaze of glory, but plot twist, she's alive and now rocking the maid life. Sonia's like, no time to chill, and drags her off to get stuff done. Maria rolls up, all curious about what the dude was chatting about. She's like, spill the tea on this past life and God stuff. So, Tamaya breaks it down, starting from his epic death moment. The girls are shook, like, whoa, this dude's got mad divine hookups. Boom, a maid bursts in saying Tamaya's got a VIP visitor. The queen's here, ready to talk business. She's got a favor to ask from Tamaya and the squad. Yesterday, the neighboring continent went all war mode on them. One of Tamaya's crew spills that the neighboring continent's not worth it. She ditched them ages ago. Usually the continents are chill, but lately they've been messing with merchants and peeps. On the front lines, they got word of a sneaky ambush on a secret army path. Looks like someone's leaking info, and it's Godman. The queen's venting, and Tamaya's like, why you telling me this? He's wondering if she thinks he's got to join the fight too. The queen's tired, saying war's a done deal, and she wants him to bounce while he can. The queen's dropping bombshells, telling them to skedaddle, leaving the hero all confused. But she's smart, knowing if she asked him to fight, he'd be out of there. The MC's like, nah, I'm not into this war stuff, even if I care about this place. Tamaya's making it clear, if they try to drag him into battle, he's out. The queen gets it, that's why she needs him to leave, at least for now. The boy's got mad skills and everyone wants him on their team. But the continent's mess is for the leaders to handle, so he asks about their chances. The queen's honest, saying with the enemy's army, they'll be toast in a month. Tamaya's curious if she's gonna beg for his help. Nope, she thinks staying chill is the way to go. But she needs to protect her turf, and there's a sweet reward for Tamaya's help. If cash and power don't sway him, maybe his heart will. He finally gets it. She wants him to protect the people, not fight up front. The MC takes a deep breath, feeling guilty not helping since Empress Charlotte herself asked. If things get hairy, she can transform, and they can bounce. Turns out, Charlotte and the Queen were BFFs. Now Tamaya's digging for the real scoop. Sigmund explains the enemies closing in, putting the squeeze on them. The MC's like, Maria, Sonia, pack up. We're out in 2 hours, and bring warm gear. He's starting fresh, needs to level up to protect the state, so he's taking the girls to a dungeon. There are mountains there for leveling up, grabbing loot, and sharing the XP. Meanwhile, Tamaya's got Misaki and Shizune on border defense duty. 2 days later, the hero's checking if everything's cool, and Misaki and Shizune nailed it, pushing the enemy back. For now, the enemy's retreated, but they'll be back for round 2. Tamaya's like, hey Misaki, you cool fighting the continent that took you in? She's chill, saying those folks even tried to offer. Shizune backs her up, saying the people there are the worst. Over there, the nobles rule with zero chill. The locals are scared of their own state. Marianne pops in, saying the girls are on a break as ordered. Misaki's like, so, how was the trip? The dude spills the tea about some weak enemies in the mountains, but he totally KO'd them with one punch. After the sacred mountain trip, the girls leveled up big time. With the clock ticking, Tamaya left all these maids with Sonia and Maria to train them up with their new powers. Since it all went down so fast, the guy decided to give them a chill day. Later, the main dude tells Maria she can take a break too, but she's hyped. Plus, a message from the queen just dropped for him. Turns out the war's supposedly over, but that's sus because the enemy continent ain't the type to just give up. Meanwhile, in the enemy's crib, they're freaking out over pics showing Misaki and Shizune on the other side. One of the big bosses, Gozart, says it's no coincidence, and they gotta stay woke for the next move. Gamagurma's all about keeping the guard up, planning to roll with him next time. Gozart's feeling dissed, asking if his buddy thinks he's not strong enough, but better safe than sorry. If Gozart nails it, Gamagurma won't have to step in. Across the table, Dendel's worried because Gozart's never wrapped up a fight right. While they're yapping, the Demon Lord pops in. Everyone's shook to see Akuma. Akuma's got a job for Gozart. He wants the 2 Drumrow heroines caught alive. To finish the twisted plan, they need a strong species. Gozart's kinda lost on what Akuma means, but he knows messing up means lab rat life again. Sure, he's the lord now thanks to Akuma's experiments, but it was a painful ride. Gozart bounces quick, saying he's off to do his mission. The demon lord calls out Dendel, telling him to take out Tamaya if they cross paths in battle. Tamaya's growth is off the charts, and letting him live is a no-go. Akuma's got faith in his crew, but is sending the 3 war admirals for backup. Dendel jumps up, saying he's rolling with Hannibal to the war. Days fly by with no enemy moves, so Tamaya grabs the chance for a picnic. Him and Misaki are chilling, and she spills about their past life dating. Tamaya's like, it's not too late, asking if she's down to join him. The girl's a bit weirded out but stoked to be back with him, hoping he'll keep her happy. Misaki nudges Shizune, telling her to admit she digs the main dude too and just go with it. Right then, the two will become Tamaya's squad. Something crashes their magical moment. They look up, jaws dropping as an attack hits the kingdom. Sonyal's freaking out because those ships are the demon kings. She quickly morphs into a winged demon and jets off. Tamaya tells Marianne to round up the other girls while he tries to chill Sonyal out. Misaki and Shizune see their shot because they've got beef with the demon army. The kingdom's military's reporting the chaos, sending everyone into a frenzy. Ships, demons, and monsters are storming the city to wreck everything. In a panic, Sigmund orders the queen's evacuation and preps for war. It's wild that the demons are striking just as they're bouncing back from the last fight. In the enemy's turf, Godman's with the demoness plotting to wreck Drumrow. Even though Godman backstabbed his so-called allies, it's a bummer seeing them get owned like this. He's curious about what the demoness plans after trashing the city. Meanwhile, Sonyal's fighting like a boss, taking down all the monsters she can. She's desperate to find Gozart. Seeing the enemy flag, she knows she's close. Gozart shows up, teasing her for getting so strong. Sonyal charges at him full speed, but halts before reaching him. Gozart taunts her for realizing his strength, saying he won't kill her because he wants her as his minion. She yells she'll clear her family's and people's shame. But when she tries to strike, he easily snatches her up. Gozart notes she's got power, but it's not enough. Sonyal's all fired up, saying she'll never forgive him, ever. The mutant pig's like, whoa, chill girl, thinking he needs to calm her down before making a move. Out of nowhere, Gozart's arm just drops to the ground like, whoa. The dude's totally confused, squirming in pain. Tamaya rolls up and starts healing Sonyal, doing his best. He gets it. Fighting what she thought was family is tough. Even though Gozart's the reason Sonyal's parents are gone, beating him feels impossible. The MC's trying to keep Sonyal in check, but who knows if it'll work. Tamaya's like, hey, if I break the transcendental magic seal, she might have the power to beat him. But, yeah, that means she'll be swimming in uncontrollable magic. Still, the MC wants her to have her shot at revenge. He asks if that's what she wants, and Sonyal's like, I couldn't control my power as a kid, but now I got this. She's worried Tamaya won't dig her new look, but he's like, nah, doesn't matter to me. Now Sonyal's feeling pumped to take on Gozart. The weird pig's all mad thinking she can't beat him, but he's had time to heal a bit. To kick things off, Tamaya breaks the seal. On her power, she breaks free, laughing like a villain, ready to show Gozart what's up. Sonyal smacks him in the chest, and his scream is music to her ears. She's loving it, wanting to make him suffer. After a bit of a showdown, Gozart's down, almost done for. Sonyal's laughing, feeling on top of the world. Tamaya seals her power again, asking her to stop the hurt. He wants her to beat that jerk as the Sonyal he knows. She's waited forever to avenge her family. With zero mercy, she drives her spear into his back. Finally, revenge is served. Ariel and Lyrule show up, checking if the MC's good, and he's like, yeah, but Sonyal's wiped out. He needs them to get her back to the mansion. Lyrule's like, there's more demon army baddies to beat, and the heroines are on it. Tamaya's rushing to catch up with them. While flying, fireballs whiz past him. Dendel's trying to hit him and introduces himself. He also introduces Hannibal, like it's a party. The MC's in a rush, wanting to wrap this up fast. Dendel's checking him out, noticing he's got some serious power. While the weirdo's babbling, Tamaya blows up a fireball behind him. Dendel tries to keep chatting, but Tamaya's not into it. Then, the MC shows his true power, leaving Dendel totally shook. It's wild, having that much power in this world. Tamaya's like, no time to waste, and slices Dendel in half. Now he just needs to deal with Hannibal, but Isis says he's already toast from the fireball, and his stuff's packed up. As Tamaya heads to the palace to find his crew, 3 weird creatures block his way. They start introducing themselves, but the MC's in a hurry and takes them out with one swipe. Near the palace, Shizune and Misaki are getting whooped by Gamagurma. The weirdo's feeling all smug, thinking he's got them beat. Gamagurma's mocking them for being tough, saying it'll just make them suffer more. But the girls aren't here for chit-chat, and Misaki lands a hit on his chest. Still, the weirdo keeps regenerating. As long as its soul's intact, its body's invincible. Normally it'd just wipe them out, but not this time. The girls freak out at the thought of being with anyone but Tamaya. Their power surges, protecting them from another master. Strength's flowing through them, and they manage to beat the weirdo. Gamagurma's down, and the girls unleash a flurry of attacks. It's getting intense, and the enemies, begging them to stop. Trying to distract them, Gamagurma asks if they want to know the Demon King's plans. They agree it's a chance to learn Akuma's real motives. Misaki's like, if you lie, you're done for. The dude starts explaining they're on a mission to hit a big goal. They're planning to suck out all the emotional vibes, but he's clueless beyond that, just following orders. The girls ask whose orders, and he spills it's Lord Akuma's. Then they want to know where the Demon King's hideout is, and Gamagurma says it's in the most out there spot on Earth. The last question is where Akuma is, and the guy's like, can't say, I'm cursed. Shizune whips out her magic and makes Gamagurma spill the beans on the Demon Lord's location. Now he's freaking out, thinking he's toast no matter what. Misaki's all, no mercy for this weird frog dude. The girls team up and zap him out of existence. Tamaya rolls up and gives the girls props for their epic work. He was so chill he didn't even lift a finger. Shizune's like, we cracked the demon's plans. Up in the sky, ships are gathering, getting all up in their space. Misaki's like, if we fight now, we'll be out of juice before we win. So she suggests they bounce for now and regroup. But Tamaya's all chill, saying the ships are no biggie. He takes off, telling them to find a safe spot while he handles it. With his power, he torches the ships in seconds. That kind of magic's not supposed to last long, showing how OP Tamaya's become. Seeing this, the girls realize the MC's power level is off the charts. They take a breather and chat about how they're totally crushing on him. Sigmund rolls up to the queen, trying to get her to evacuate, but she's like, no one's dying here, not us or the citizens. They've got someone who can make the impossible possible. Tamaya's the one saving them with common sense and miracles. Now he's done wiping out the enemies. After blowing up all the ships, Isis fills him in on what he gained, and the MC's like, I'm basically a god now. He's ready to take over the world, but that's not his jam. When he meets Shizune and Misaki again, they give him a hyped-up kiss. Far away, the Demon Lord's fuming. He can't wrap his head around how the hero got so strong so fast. Only the Demon King can take on Tamaya, and if the guy finds their hideout, they're toast. Akuma decides he needs to find his boss. In the Erelidale Empire, Godman's shook that Tamaya is still kicking. In a panic, he asks Demonia what their next move is, but she's more into winning over Tamaya and becoming one of his crew. Now she's planning to ditch the demon army and switch sides. Godman tries to snap her back to reality, saying she's a big deal in the demon army. Alicia's like, true, but it's game over now. From now on, she's all about Tamaya. Godman's worried about his future, but she doesn't care. Before anything's settled, the demoness bounces. Meanwhile, at the MC's crib, he's wiped out. After the battle, they headed home and racked up tons of XP. The maids kept the city safe from some rogue demons. Now Misaki and Shizune are waiting for the MC to chill. The trio spends the night having a blast together. In Demonland, Akuma nervously tries to chat with his boss. On the way, he bumps into Alicia, who asks where he's headed, and he says he needs to talk about Tamaya. Basically, the kid's unbeatable. Alicia's like, even the big boss can't take Tamaya down, but Akuma's got a plan. He's thinking of outsmarting everyone and going all out. Alicia hears him out and says, since it's every demon for themselves, she's staying put. She joined the demons for love, but now she's found someone way cooler. She's decided to join hero Tamaya. Akuma's mad but rolls with it, telling her to stay out of his way. She agrees. Now Akuma's just focused on sorting his own mess. At Tamaya's mansion, he's set on taking down the Demon King. Everyone's pumped about the plan. The young dude's aiming to reclaim Sonyal and make it a kingdom again. The palace is one of the Demon King's top spots, but they're gonna roll up and wreck it all. Marianne's stressing about the capital getting hit while they're busy here. Tamaya's got his own worries, but he's thinking of leaving someone to hold down the fort. Leading the charge are Misha and Lucia. Sonyal's gonna hold the middle, with Tina and Tifa covering the back. Maria's got the capital's defense on lock. Marianne's nervous about being without Tamaya's backup, having to run the show, but the dude's got it all planned out. He introduces Isis to the squad. They throw some questions her way and get the lowdown on the AI. Isis is handling the battle deets, and Marianne's got the rest. Time to take back the kingdom of Mercafolk. After a 3-day trek, they roll up. It's super quiet, just ruins, but there are people around. Sonyal jumps in to save the women under attack. Everyone's like, whoa, it's Princess Sonyal. She feels bad for leaving them hanging, but she's back now. She's all about freeing the kingdom and taking back what's theirs. While they're chatting, Tamaya's scoping out the scene. Inside the castle, some beefy demons are waiting. The MC tells Sonyal to leave the city to them, while she hunts down the enemy boss. From there, she's gonna face some harsh truths. Sonyal thanks Tamaya and heads off. To back her up, the MC asks Lucia to tag along and help out. Once the girls bounce, he checks with ISIS about the leftover soldiers. The AI's like, "They're weak sauce, you got this." He decides to take them on and tells the elves to rescue the citizens. Now he needs ISIS to sort the citizens from the baddies and kick off the attack. With his magic, he uses two powers, healing for the citizens and sunlit arrows for the soldiers. With this move, he makes sure the baddies can't escape. For now, all Tamaya can do is hope Soniel's okay. Inside the castle, Soniel's zooming at top speed. Behind the last gate, there's just one more dude. Zot's shocked she's still kicking. Soniel steps up and says she heard he was toast. Laughing, the old dude's like, "Nah, that was my double. I'm the king now." Fuming, she asks why he betrayed his land, and he denies it. Zot spills that he never belonged there, just infiltrated to get what he wanted. Now he's almost done and can show how he got it all. In a flash, he makes a familiar figure appear. It's her mom. Soniel's confused why her mom, who should be gone, is there. Zot explains it's a robot made from her mom's remains. He wanted Sonia back so bad he ditched the demon army for it. He hoped she'd fall for him so he could be king, but Soniel's dad beat him to it. Still, Zot was cool being by her side for years. But he couldn't let go of Sonia, and when the demon army was about to invade, he thought it was his shot. He didn't expect her to get hurt. Luckily, the body was intact, so he made his little toy. Soniel smacks the creep's shoulder, dropping him in pain. She asks if he did all that just for his selfish wants. Zot was ready to sacrifice her parents and the kingdom's people. Fuming, she hits him again. When Lucia shows up, Soniel's on the ground, crying. Suddenly, her mom's robot says her name. In tears, Soniel rushes to hug her. Her mom's spirit apologizes for being weak and not protecting her, but promises to stay by her side forever. Sonia's soul merges with Soniel's. This happens thanks to Tamaya's power, always looking out for the girls. Even so, after using so much energy, he's wiped. Before that meetup, he got to chat with Soniel's mom. Sonia wanted to stay with her daughter and felt bad for leaving her, and Tamaya figured the best move was to unite them. Most of the survivors in that city are young girls, since the dudes got totally wiped out by the demon army. Now the MC's scratching his head, clueless about what to do with all these girls. Shizune rolls up and drops a bomb idea. They should totally bring those 1,500 girls to the young man's crib. At first, everyone was like, "Nah, that's nuts," but his squad helped him, making the survivors see the real reason for bouncing out of there. They managed to move all the citizens safely, and Tamaya finally got some chill time to recharge his brain. The young dude wasn't planning on turning them into his minions, but this setup would actually be a win for the girls, keeping them safe. After mending the girls' hearts, he ended up with 5 new allies. Now things are kinda chill there, no weird vibes, so Tamaya can focus on taking care of the citizens. Meanwhile, over on the Gastra continent, where the Demon King's crib is, some wild experiments are going down. Akuma's trying to wake up Zahark, but he can't do it solo and needs Alicia's magic touch. The demoness is down and tells them to wrap it up quick. Her gig is just to mix her magic with Zahark's to snap him out of his trance. Once that's done, she's free to bounce wherever she wants. While she's distracted, Akuma seizes the moment to nab her. He jokes that even Alicia, the battle goddess, can slip up. The demon can't unleash his plan without someone strong like her by his side. He's aiming to create a wild fighter who'll let loose all his feels. Plus, it'll be epic too. See the lovebirds reunite. Akuma hits a button and launches Alicia far away. Alicia blacks out for a sec, and when she wakes up, she's totally different. She says she's feeling better than ever and is now the star of Calamity. Akuma's all smug, saying his experiment worked like a charm. From now on, she's his soldier, and they're gonna face a super tough enemy soon. Her only job is to serve him. Now only Zahark's missing, and then it's game on. But when he opens the dome, there's just a giant crystal, and Akuma's freaking out. Someone shows up and says it's finally his turn to absorb Zahark's crystal. It's Gaiman, Akuma's bro. Akuma's shaking because his bro found out his plan, which is basically to kick him out of power. The demon Akuma always tried to cook up stuff to beat Gaiman. The last part of his plan is to whip up a demon god. Gaiman even knows about the powerful spheres and says he's already snagged 500 of them. With all that and his little bro's research, he can do whatever he wants. Now they're basically gods. Fuming, Akuma yells for Alicia to take out his bro, but her hits don't faze him, and the dude leaves her lying on the ground. Gaiman puts his hand on Alicia's head and says he'll teach her to use her true power. Finally, Akuma gets that there's nothing more he can do, cause beating his bro is a no-go. The setup's ready, but they need a bit more juice. For now, he's moving Zahark's crystal to his lab. Gaiman strolls through the lab and wrecks 50 years of research. By smashing a single button, he lets loose all the creatures there. Gaiman's plan is to stir up chaos in that world. A bit before that, at our hero's pad, he's chatting with Soniel about all the wild stuff that went down. To chill out, the duo decides to game and binge some shows. The next day when he wakes up, Tamaya senses a super weird vibe. This gives him a bad feeling, and he asks Isis to keep an eye on things. Tamaya gathers all the girls to lay out the plan and how they're gonna take down the Demon King. Now they gotta form squads and follow the leader's orders. Our hero takes off to scope out the plains of Gastra. Isis's analysis spills the tea on how many demons are there and the presence of Akuma and Alicia. Apparently there was a surprise magic reaction near those two 6 hours ago, but it's already gone. Sure, they can handle the whole scene right there, but Isis suggests Tamaya level up first. The young dude thinks that if he gets stronger, his crew will too, even if they're not fighting, so it's a big deal. The MC remembers Lirul asked him to save the demon goddess of war Alicia, and he wants to keep his word unless it's a no-go. Tamaya grabs his sword and jumps into the battle. He unleashes a massive attack on the enemies. While he's flexing his power, Isis tells him to chill until all targets are hit and wiped out. A few minutes later, boom, 60,000 enemies are toast and the battle's a wrap. With this level up, Tamaya's crew gets perks, like maybe having their own crew. The young dude wonders if it's time to chase down the bros. Isis spills that not much has changed, but something weird's up, like a crazy power just popped up. Even though this power's not a big deal compared to the MCs, gotta stay sharp. One of these folks has a starred calamity status, so she can totally dodge the young dude's defense. Even with all this, Tamaya figures he's gotta find those demon bros to sort this mess out. Isis says the map's ready, and the young dude's off to his new target. Soon, he rolls up to the castle where the demons chill. Things look sketchy, and Isis tells Tamaya to wrap it up quick. When the young dude steps in, everyone's already there, waiting. Akuma steps up, introduces himself and his sis, Alicia. Tamaya whips out his sword, asking where the Demon King's hiding. Then, he goes for a gut punch on the enemy. He says no need for all this drama, and if Akuma spills the beans, he'll get a quicker end. The MC's not planning to let that demon walk after all he's done. Isis tells Tamaya things are off and he needs to finish it fast while she hunts for the Demon King. The young dude tries to zap Akuma with magic, but the demon calls for Alicia. She throws up a barrier to shield them. Still, it's not enough to stop Tamaya, who sends them flying, smashing the barrier. Even though Lirul asked him not to take out Alicia, the young dude can't let this chance go. He uses the final glow to vaporize those demons. Once they're toast, Tamaya gears up to take out the rest. He does it in one swoop, ending it all at once. Even after wiping everyone out, Tamaya's got a bad vibe. Finally, a message from Isis drops, saying the enemies are near his kingdom. Our heroes left clueless about what's going down. Meanwhile, the armies are marching towards the city. Akuma's hyped to wreck all the humans they meet. After Akuma's bro trashed his life's work, he gave him a jewel with Zahark's consciousness. With that, Akuma could bring back the Demon King. When he absorbed the jewel, Akuma felt something wild inside, and his power shot up. Confused, he asked his bro Gamon why he was handing over so much power. The demon says he made a supreme jewel, and it involves him too, but he was over the chit-chat and needed to bounce. Even though he doesn't dig his bro's style, Akuma's got a shot to beat Tamaya with Alyssa. First step, bring back the gods of war. When Tamaya's attacking, Alyssa's gotta teleport them straight to Drumrow. At that moment, Akuma's sure his plan's flawless. Now Gozart and Gamagurma are pumped to hit the battlefield. Dendal and Hannibal are stoked too. And the gods of war, they're just chill. When they hit the city, Akuma declares it's massacre time. Far away, Tamaya's freaking out, knowing he needs to rush back to the capital. But a buff demon says they gotta throw down first. The horned dude introduces himself as Zahark, the Demon King himself. Meanwhile, outside the capital's walls, Marianne gets a heads up from Isis that enemies are closing in. Luckily, they were prepped for this kind of thing. Enemies start popping out of portals. Isis says there are about 5,000 baddies, mostly some kind of evolved monsters. The elves are shocked the demon army's still packing so much heat. The girls are pumped to show off their training skills. When they spot Dendal, Gozart, and Gamagurma alive, the girls get spooked. But Sonyal tries to hype them up, saying they gotta trust the power their master gave them. Giving up or losing isn't an option. Something catches their eye because, in the army, the number of Gozarts, Gamagurma, and all the others is growing. Even a bunch of Lirul copies are popping up. This battle's gonna be tough, but the girls are pumped and it's time to strike back. Marianne steps up to lead the squad. They totally wreck the monsters, no sweat. Lirul steps up, owning her demon clones. The demons are shook by the power this tiny angel's packing. She slices through them like a hot knife through butter. Lirul's power? It's like a million clones on steroids. Shizune tells Gamagurma she didn't think she'd see his ugly mug again. The gross toad thinks he's got a shot this time. But surprise, Shizune's got power levels off the charts now. She starts blasting, saying everyone's about to get a taste of hell. Shizune wants them to feel the pain they dished out to so many women. She tortures them all with her fire magic. Gozart's freaking out watching the chaos. But before he can blink, Misaki smacks him hard. She slices that nasty body into pieces like a boss. The girls keep fighting like warriors. Then the war gods get all cocky. Ariel uses her light power to smack them with her sword. Meanwhile, Tina's making Tamaya clones to mess them up. Misha calls in a giant killer tiger, no biggie. In the end, all the baddies are toast. In the secret lab, Akuma's shaking cause his crew got owned. He didn't think those slaves would be so OP. Still, he's chill, thinking Alicia's gonna be the next demon goddess. Akuma knows facing Tamaya's risky, but he wants payback. Akuma sets Alicia loose for his final scheme. He tells her to wreck everything Tamaya loves. But hearing that name, Alicia's memory kicks in. Alicia stabs Akuma right in the chest with her hand. The demoness remembers she loves the dude and wants to be with him. But she wants him all to herself. Akuma's like, how can you be so clueless? And she says her bro made her super strong. She still wants to wipe out Tamaya's slaves, but now it's for her own gain. She's not with the demon army anymore, just a girl in love. Akuma's desperate, asking her plan, and Alicia's like, I'm taking your power. Thanks to his tweaks, she can now steal her enemy's power. Alicia does it, leaving him weak, and now she's mega powerful. Akuma's all, I won't die here, but plot twist, he does. All Alicia wants now is for Tamaya to get ready for her. Meanwhile, chaos is still popping off in the demon's castle. The MC notices Zahark looks way younger than expected. The demon says becoming king made him younger, part of the deal. Finally, Tamaya's like, enough chit-chat, let's fight. Zahark's hyped for the battle, thinking he's got mad potential. But when the MC hits him, with the final glow, he's got no defense. For a sec, our hero thinks it's finally over, but Zahark pops back up, alive, saying he won't go down easy. Even after dying, he fully recovers and boosts his combat by 20%. Seeing this, Tamaya's like, if this keeps up, I'm in trouble, but there's gotta be a limit to his regen. Still, the MC can't keep offing the demon without being careful. Zahark tries all sorts of attacks, but the kid dodges every time. Isis tells him to hang tight while she checks out the enemy's body. To stall, Tamaya asks why Zahark's chasing power. Zahark says he needs to be the strongest to take out those who dissed him. The MC gets it but asks why Zahark doesn't care about the mess he made for his selfish goals. The king's offended, asking what the kid knows about the demon world, where only strength matters. Tamaya keeps chatting, then charges his hand with magic. He punches the demon in the gut, causing major pain. For some reason, Zahark ended many innocent lives and sacrificed thousands. His slaves all suffered from that disaster. So, it's the MC's mission to take him down. Isis rolls in with the full scoop, saying if Zahark has to resurrect 7 more times, he's toast. But after getting smacked by an attack, he starts building up resistance like a boss. Tamaya starts chucking tiny force balls at the enemy. The MC makes him puff up until he goes kaboom. Isis says the big boom was enough to finish him off for good, and now he's got the title of God of Destruction. He's not a fan of the title, but hey, it's kinda cool. Marianne hits up Tamaya to say they beat the baddies and everyone's A-okay. The MC turns to bounce, but surprised, the Demon King pops back up. Annoyed, the dude wonders why this monster can't just chill. Zahark's all mad, claiming he's the most epic thing ever. The demon god charges, and the young dude has to dodge. Our hero's ready to wrap this up for real. He yells that Zahark will be a better dude next time around. But before he can strike, the enemy vanishes. He teleports and attacks the MC. Zahark's super speedy, and before Tamaya knows it, he's gone again. This time, he's next to the young dude and chomps his arm off. After munching on Tamaya's arm, the demon levels up big time. His power's now off the charts. He's aiming to gobble up the whole dude. When Zahark tries to smack Tamaya, the young dude grabs his hand and activates his God of Destruction powers. His arm grows back and he's basically unbreakable. The demon tries to check the young dude's power level, but it's off the scale. Zahark realizes this power is insane. For the first time, the demon's scared stiff. It's enough to make Zahark want to run for the hills. Tamaya's got new epic skills and snagged the cruel god's jewel. Absorbing Zahark's jewel makes him way stronger, but he needs time to get used to the demon's memories and battle smarts. Till now, he fought like a noob, so Zahark's experience can help him level up his game. Zahark's down for the count and Tamaya's unsure what to do with him, but Isis has a plan. When the demon wakes up, he's finally chill, knowing he's no match for the hero and wants him to end it quick. The twist? The boy's not planning to off him. He wants him to live with the mess he made. The MC's plan is to strip Zahark of his powers and make him live like a regular human, where magic and power means zip. Despite the demon's whining, the young dude's made up his mind and made it impossible for Zahark to off himself. Plus, he's already zapped his powers. Tamaya slaps a supreme demonic seal on the enemy. When the smoke clears, Tamaya is shocked to see the demon lord's a little girl. She spills that she's always been a girl and only changed because guys are stronger. Zahark asks if the MC's gonna make her his slave and embarrass her, but nah, he just wants her to put on some clothes. They gotta teleport back to the city. Earlier, Tamaya's girls are hanging out when Isis tells them there's some weird stuff coming their way. The sky splits open, and Alicia pops out. She says the girls are cute and totally Tamaya's type. Alicia gets close to Larul and punches her in the gut. The others gear up to fight but aren't strong enough. In the end, all the girls are down, taken out by Alicia. Even so, she's not dropping her guard, knowing these girls are super strong. Now she's aiming to take them out to have Tamaya all to herself. Marianne steps up and asks if the demoness wants to be with her master. She nods and even talks about getting hitched. Whispering, Marianne cooks up a battle plan with the remaining girls. Marianne creates an opening, and Shizun tries to strike but gets caught off guard. To stop the enemy, Alicia dislocates her shoulder. Next up is Marianne, who the demoness easily tosses aside. When Misaki tries to hit Alicia, her weapon shatters. Alicia's crazy strong, but it's more than that. Her power is growing fast. In a panic, Marianne asks Isis to tell them they're in trouble, but the AI says Tamaya's busy fighting Zahark and can't answer. Marianne stands up, all fired up, cause her master totally believes in her. She's gotta protect everyone and keep her chin up, no matter what. Alicia sees her and wonders if she's lost her marbles thinking she can win this fight. Maria's like, "Hold up, Alicia," while Isis helps the crew get back on their feet. Marianne's ready to rumble, channeling all her power like a boss. Alicia's jaw drops at the girl's insane strength. She uses the dragon's paw to give the woman a serious gut punch. Normally, you can't just spam powers like that, but Marianne's breaking all the rules. She mixes her blood with the dragon's to keep the fight going. Her power's skyrocketing, but dragons live way longer than humans. So, the more she uses it, the less time she's got left. But she's all in, ready to throw down till the last punch. Alicia notices all the boys' crew fighting for him, no questions asked. Meanwhile, she's just feeling all kinds of jealous. She just needs someone to help her shake off this feeling that's been stuck in her. Her other side pops up, promising to bring everyone down. Lucia's back on her feet, not done yet. She's determined, saying Tamaya would never ditch them. Lucia's got her heart set on marrying the boy, so she's not about to let anyone die. To her, Tamaya's the ultimate hero. Alicia's over this whole balance thing and wants to end it for good. Lucia's about to get hit, but something shields her. Then a perfect attack heads straight for Alicia. Isis senses the crew's in danger and activates new powers, forming a physical body. After a bright explosion, a girl floats down from the sky. She tells everyone they crushed it, and the battle's won thanks to them. The girl's Isis, and she's kicking off the rescue mission. First up, bringing Marianne back to life. Then, she'll help everyone who got hurt or worse. In a magical twist, things start looking up, but even magic couldn't stop Marianne's end. But since she's Tamaya's servant, she can't just die like that. Isis busts out the divine phoenix resurrection magic. Marianne's youth is back in a flash. Now she's not just alive, she's got an extra 1,000 years. Seeing the mysterious girl, she kneels and says thanks. Isis tells her she's super important to Tamaya, and her soul touched her, so she can't waste her life. That'd just bum Tamaya out. Now that her job's done, she's out of there. But Alicia shows up, telling her not to underestimate her. Ticked off, the demoness demands to know who this kid is and where she's been hiding. Isis says she's the one keeping Tamaya safe. Alicia tries to diss her, but she couldn't care less. Then she says she's here to save the demoness, but the horned woman insists she doesn't need saving. Full of rage, she charges at Isis, ready to destroy her. The little girl dodges and touches the demoness, soaking up her bad vibes. The negativity starts leaving Alicia, and she quickly backs off. Looks like she needs to be weakened a bit before using this power. Apparently, getting a bunch of jewels made her lose it. With all the dark stuff, Alicia's lost control of her body and mind. So, Isis figures she needs to knock her out. The horned woman summons a bunch of demonic skulls to fight the worried girls, but Isis is chill and handles it in a flash. She wipes them all out at once, just like Tamaya does. Now Isis can move in and goes for Alicia, leaving her hurt. The little girl asks Sonia to hold the line while she sorts it out. Using a combo of all the girl's powers, she pulls off something epic. After making a cocoon for Alicia, a spear of annihilation is brought to her. When it hits, there's a massive explosion. Isis's power is off the charts. Now it's time to wrap it up. Using the angel's divine magic, she pulls the sphere out of the demoness. Now Alicia's totally purified and alive. The girls take Alicia back to Tamaya's place. They thank Isis for the save, who says she's stoked to help. She just hadn't shown up before because of all the rules. With all the rules around, it's probably impossible for Isis to just pop up. After a while, Alicia wakes up. She's all, "Why save me if I'm the enemy?" Isis spills the tea, saying Alicia's. Heart was screaming for help and love for Tamaya, and boom, the horned lady starts bawling. Time for Isis to bounce, and Lucia's like, "Don't you want to meet Tamaya?" But nah, the little girl can't show up in front of him. So, it's all hush-hush. Lucia's still set on telling her master they only won 'cause of Isis. The plan? Keep Tamaya in the dark about Alicia's power, and say Marianne took her down. Before she dips, Isis tells Alicia to quit being a demon. Then she chops off one of her horns. She's all about leaving some battle scars to make it look epic. Tamaya's flying with the demoness, and Isis drops the news that Alicia's captured. The dude's thinking, if they didn't hit me up, it must have been easy peasy. He checks out Zahark, asking if she's too clingy, and she's like, "Yeah, no way I'm beating you with brute force." Now she's cool with surrendering, and her crush on Tamaya's growing. Tamaya's new powers let him purify without touching, and that's what went down with Zahark. When they land, the maids are all, "Welcome back," and Alicia's tied up, crying on the ground. The demoness is stoked to see him, and Tamaya's like, "What happened here?" Marianne's all, "She dissed the master, had to teach her a lesson." Tamaya can't read minds, so he'll chat with Isis later to get the scoop. He heals Alicia with his restoration power. She rushes over, saying she couldn't wait to meet him. Even if he's clueless about the drama, Alicia's feelings are real. Using his purification power, he turns the demoness into an angel. Then Zahark's like, "Time for intros." She's the ex-demon king, and everyone's jaws drop. Inside, Zahark admits she caused the chaos. Sure, the demons did most of it, but it was her experiment to get stronger, so she's owning up to the mess. Tamaya's like, "This is wild coming from you." She's ready to put her life in Tamaya's hands, do whatever he wants. Alicia's on board, saying she feels the same. They've done a lot of damage, and that guilt's not going away easy. But if Tamaya accepts them, maybe they can make things right. Tamaya's stumped on what to do. After purifying them, they're probably done causing trouble. He's all, "Back home we say hate the sin, love the sinner, and what's done is done. Death's a way to pay, but it doesn't fix anything." So, he thinks they should spread happiness to make up for it. He wants them to bring joy to the people, and yeah, he might need them in battle too. Plus, he's got a plan for Zahark. His maids have been all about force, but the demoness has mad strategy skills to teach. They're down, promising to stick with Tamaya for life. Later, the MC meets the queen to say the demon lord's toast, and the world's chill. He spills the beans about Zahark and Alicia, just in case. But even after all that, things aren't back to normal. There's still beef, and the demon lord's army's toast. Still, there's human-on-human drama worldwide. Anyway, Tamaya's ready to kick back and live peacefully. Mission accomplished. At night, Zahark cozies up to Tamaya for some chill time. He's hyped to show her the games he plays with the crew. As the night rolls on, she's comfy enough to drop her real name, Rinka. She ditched that name because it was too soft for battle, and it sounded way too girly. After the epic games wrap up, Isis spills the tea that Zahark's bad vibes are gone, and now she can level up into her battle mode. Next day, Tamaya's all about meeting Alicia to vibe with her more. The MC shows Alicia the ropes on the controls, and they have a blast. The girl's over the moon because she's been dreaming of this moment forever. Thanks to their epic bond, Alicia levels up into a demon angel. In another kingdom, not too far from Drumrow, a girl catches the divine vibes of Tamaya. After the showdown with the Demon King, Drumrow is a hot mess, and everyone's busy cleaning up. At Tamaya's crib, Marianne hooks him up with dinner. The dude's thinking her looks changed a ton since the Alicia fight, but he's clueless about what went down because she's always dodging the topic. The girl insists she's all good and feeling awesome. Even though she appreciates her master's concern, she doesn't want him stressing over her. Tamaya's all, "You're my precious maid, and I'll always worry." Marianne and Tamaya use the moment to get to know each other better. After a bit, the MC notices the red ribbon she used to rock is MIA and asks about it. Marianne says she lost it during the Alicia showdown. Tamaya's like, "No worries," and whips up a new one for her. Then, the dude heads off to meet the queen again. He got bumped up to an S-rank adventurer before, and now he's hitting X-rank legend status. The queen's like, "Any beef with that title?" And Tamaya's cool with it. In reality, nothing's changed for him, except now he's chilling with legends that haven't been around for ages. The queen wants to hook him up with a reward for his heroics, but she's already given him all the goodies. So, she asks if there's anything Tamaya wants. The MC's all about peace and no war. So the queen promises to bring back the good vibes to her people. When it's just him and the queen, Tamaya's venting about being over the bureaucracy. She claps back that politics isn't a two-person game, and they gotta deal with the other nobles. While he's grumbling, the queen hands him something special. The queen's gift is a ring that lets him use the royal seal's magic, plus it can mint coins to run the economy. Tamaya's low-key scared of the power, but Shizun's like, chill, I'll show you the ropes. Her plan is to create a chill spot where Tamaya can live in peace with his crew on his own turf. With nothing left to fight and the world at peace, it sounds like a solid plan. A few days roll by, and the girls break it down to Tamaya that he needs to start a new currency for his territory. So, Shizun's thinking of launching a currency exchange biz, with Tamaya as the boss. But he doesn't need to sweat the management stuff, 'cause she's got it covered. Sonia rolls in with a request for Tamaya. She wants to kick off an adventurers union. The Drumrow Adventurers Guild has 4 big clans run by S-class adventurers, but a bunch of female adventurers aren't getting a fair shake in the guild, so Tamaya suggests she start a new clan. Sonia's like, when a girl starts a clan, it's a whole thing. Guys run the adventurer scene and aren't cool with girls leading. Basically, she wants to back female adventurers. The girl nods, saying with Tamaya's squad of women, it'll be tough for anyone to mess with them. The MC's cool with it and tells Sonia she can use his name however she wants. Marianne steps up and says she wants to chat too. Every day, loads of people swing by the mansion to meet Tamaya and check out the place. Since she's the boss inside, Marianne keeps strangers out to avoid drama. But now that the dude's running businesses, it's time to make some allies. The best move is for Tamaya to link up with key players, and if all the business bigwigs are his crew, it can stop betrayals. It's not weird for nobles to have tight bonds with their crew. Trust is key, for real. Hearing all that, Tamaya totally gets what the girls are vibing with and tells them to just do their thing, no stress. The dude's stoked seeing everyone giving it their all, like a team of superheroes. Shizun throws out a name everyone digs, and Tamaya's curious about what kind of biz she's cooking up. She spills the tea, saying she's gonna cater to both the fancy folks and the everyday peeps. They've got a major cheat code with their otherworldly knowledge, ready to level up big time. One hot item in their world is the mana potion, a real game changer. It's pricey to whip up, so the market price is sky high, but in a pinch, it's a lifesaver. The mana potion recipe is top secret, but they're running some experiments to crack the code. Turns out the stuff needed for a mana potion is super pricey and takes up loads of space. But Shizun's got a new hack for making the potion. She hands Tamaya a vial of water, asking him to zap it with his magic. Boom, just like that, they can brew way more powerful mana potions with pure magic. Everything in their world has a spirit, and charging it with magic is key to the potion-making process. But since it takes a crazy amount of power, regular folks can't pull it off. Shizun checks how much magic Tamaya pumped into the vial, and it's a whopping 50,000. Marianne's like, whoa, that's insane, no average mage can do that. With Tamaya's power, they can churn out mana potions like a factory and take over a market the state used to own. The MC's worried about making enemies by selling these potions, but Shizuni's already got it covered. The potion sellers are hooked up with Tamaya's crew, so they can't just bail. Plus, the guild's gonna hype their sales, and with Tamaya's name on the potions, they're bound to blow up. Shizun's got another idea up her sleeve. She's crafting top-tier bras that take a week to make, aiming them at noble women first. Since they're all about the gossip, they'll spread the word to merchants, turning it into a fashion craze. For now, they can't mass produce, so they're selling high, but once they get popular, it's gonna be lit. In the end, Tamaya's pumped with how everything's rolling. Tamaya's in this dreamlike state, hearing a soft voice calling out to him. It's the goddess of creation, the one who reincarnated him before. Tamaya jokes if he's there because she accidentally offed someone else, but she laughs it off, saying she's just there to say thanks. The MC was the hero who took down the Demon King and brought peace back. Surprised, the MC's like, it's been a month since I took down the Demon King, and you're just now saying thanks? She explains that for gods, things are way more red tapey. Curious, Tamaya asks if she could have just taken out the Demon Lord herself, and she says yeah, but she's gotta be super careful. If she messes with Earth's life, it could throw everything out of whack. Taking the chance, the MC asks if the power she gave him wasn't a bit OP, and she says it wasn't supposed to go that hard. Still, the effect changes based on who wields it. If you want it bad enough and fight for it, you'll probably get it. Thinking back, Tamaya remembers when he reincarnated and had to face dragons, totally clueless. In that moment, he wished with all his heart to survive. The goddess says Tamaya always had these hidden desires, which is why his power was so epic. Plus, Since his wishes were usually about helping others, he got even cooler abilities. In the end, Tamaya's a legend, and because of that, he beat the Demon Lord and teamed up with so many girls. With that, he nailed his mission in that world and now just needs to spread good vibes. Then, the girl asks if he really became the god of destruction, and Tamaya's like, "Yup, this means he's probably gonna be the next big god on the block." The universe keeps creating new dimensions over and over, and it happens every billion years, so the next one's a long way off. When the clock ticks down, Tamaya's gonna level up to the new god of destruction, snagging that epic title. Tamaya's low-key stressing, wondering if he should be a chill god instead. Plus, he's worried about looking like a total monster. The girl's all, "Chill, dude, you can pick your own look, no worries." And turning him into a god? Totally not random. She thinks it's wild to let such a good dude just vanish after he kicks the bucket. But hey, there's like a billion years to go, so no sweat. Being a god means looking out for loads of people, but it's totally up to him if he wants the gig. From day one she knew he had the chops, but never pegged him as the god of destruction. Even with her all-seeing vibes and mega experience, she couldn't figure out what was up. Since Tamaya showed up, everything's been a bit wild and unpredictable. If Tamaya's meant to be the god of destruction, something big's gonna make him want to step up. The dude's freaking out, asking if this means another baddie's gonna pop up, and she's like, no clue. The MC's all, seriously? I just got my chill life going. The goddess swoops in and plants a smooch on him. Then she's like, you're good for now, dude. Chat's over, she's got stuff to handle. Tamaya's all, you hiding something? And spots she totally is. But before he can get her to spill, she opens a portal and waves by. As Tamaya's falling into the void, she's like, next time, we're hanging out. Fast forward 2 months, Tamaya's got the Demon King in the rear view, and things are looking up. Shizuni's breaking down how things are running smooth. But, plot twist, there's still some hiccups, like not enough resources. The land's huge, but they're short on horses to haul stuff. Plus, they're kinda lacking in the manpower department. Tamaya's curious about the spirit forest resources. Sure, they could chat with the spirits, but only Tina and Tifa can do that. Problem is, neither's a pro at negotiating. Tamaya's plan? Amp up the magic juice to help out. Tina's like, you want to roll with me and sis to chat with the Spirit King? Tifa jumps in saying there's a spirit hangout near their old village, but it's deep in the woods. Either way, Tamaya's got to tag along with Tina to get heard. Out of nowhere, the girls start bickering over who's going with him, and he's like, why not all three? Marianne jumps in, mentioning a guild quest to check out some ancient ruins in the spirit forest. It's a tough gig with low pay, so she shelved it, but now it's perfect timing. So they decide to head out the next day to explore the forest. A big squad rolls out with Tamaya to the forest. He's got Tina, Tifa, Zahark, Alicia, and Misaki in tow. Plus, the other elves from the forest are tagging along. They all swoop in, flying through the sky. Tamaya's not sure if they're in the right spot, but Isis is like, I'm sensing some major Spirit King vibes over there. When they touch down by the lake, Tina slips into her invisible gear, saying she's gonna summon the Spirit King. Tamaya's a bit on edge, and she explains the special outfit's a must because regular clothes are a no-go in the spirit world. With a hint of jealousy, the MC's like, is the Spirit King a dude? The elf reassures him, saying spirits don't do gender. Plus, she's already Tamaya's, so no worries. Tina steps into the lake, chanting in Elvish. Suddenly, she and Tamaya are rocking those invisible threads in a mystery zone. The MC's all, where are we? And she's like, we're in the spirit realm, where they hang out. Apparently they sensed Tina and invited them over. A glowing orb pops up, asking if Tina's packing all that power it felt, saying it's been ages since it met her elf fam. Unfazed, she's like, I'd like a word with the Spirit King. The glowing orb floats over to Tamaya, saying it's the big boss of keeping the forest and spirits chill, and wants to know what the young dude's wish is. Curious, the MC asks if the Spirit King has a squad, like if there are more of him, and the glowing orb gives a nod. Then, the spirit asks if Tamaya's human, cause he seems superhuman-y. Tina's all, duh, Tamaya's got way more XP than the Spirit King. The orb's like, no way, and Tamaya's like, yep, just leveled up to god status. To settle it, Tina's like, yo, Spirit King, let's see who's got the bigger power level. The orb's ready to flex its magic on Tamaya. Then, the young dude's gotta show his stuff too. The MC sees the forest spirit's got some serious juice, but when he shows his own, it's like, mega intense. Tamaya's got so much power, the spirit's shaking in its boots. Later, a little girl pops up as a spirit goddess, saying sorry to Tamaya for doubting his epicness. Tamaya's like, weird flex, Spirit King's a tiny girl, but she's a one-girl army. Chill. The fairy's like, wanna bless you with forest vibes, and the MC's like, nah, Gotta trade something. So, the young dude offers his power, and the girl's cool with it, saying the forest is his playground. Worried, the young dude asks if it's cool to use the plants and critters. The spirit queen's like, no prob, my magic can reboot the forest in a week. Psyched about the deal, Tamaya hits up Shizune, saying they've got the forest hookup. No more supply stress. Shizune's like, my lil plants need time, and we gotta keep in touch with Drumrow. Curious, Tamaya's like, what plants? But she's all, top secret. If it's a secret, it's gotta be good. And now Tamaya's off to check out the ruins. The MC gives Alicia the mission to scout other forest spots. Since it's a small squad mission, no need for a crowd at the ruins. Misaki's throwing shade cause Tamaya and Alicia act like a married couple. Zahark's like, can I chill in the forest too? Looks like Zahark's got stuff to handle, so Misaki and Tamaya are on ruin duty. The young dude's cool with it and asks if she can handle things there. Misaki's like, we good? While they're sky high, and Tamaya's sorry for dragging her into this, but he's hyped to explore the dungeon. The girl's like, with Isis we got this, and they should handle it easy peasy. The MC's like, wanna beat this with my own skills, no Isis power-ups. Plus, he's gotta soak up the wisdom from a pro-adventurer. Misaki's mood's way better now they're solo. The girl's kinda jelly of him, and Tamaya's like, why though? In this world, it's cool to have multiple bays, and he'd marry all his girls if he could. The duo hits the ruins. Tamaya's like, Isis, stay back, and she's like, only if you're in deep trouble. The ruins entrance is plant covered, so Tamaya's like, let's torch it. Misaki's like, dude, those plants are holding it up. But Tamaya's already lit it up. The girl's freaking out, calling him out. She's like, this could wreck the whole mission, dude. To her, it's wild the young dude's rank X with 0 chill. Luckily, the dungeon's still standing, but the young dude's gotta chill. Maybe he should dial it down a notch, so Tamaya does that. The duo dives into the dungeon, taking down baddies. Watching his partner, Tamaya's like, Misaki's a beast. Finally, the young dude gets Misaki's combat skills and is starting to be her fan. Plus, he notices today she's rocking a one-handed sword. Misaki's like, thanks to my demon fight skills, I can wield anything. Her fave weapon got wrecked by Alicia. The young dude's all about making epic weapons, dreaming of crafting the coolest gear ever. They hit him with the news that he's unlocked this skill and now he can whip up any weapon he wants. While the girl's all about moving forward, he's thinking about recreating that axe as a gift for his buddy. Mid-dungeon, they pause for a snack break, cause even heroes need munchies. The girl wonders why this dungeon even exists, like what's the point? For Tamaya, it feels like the Sacred Mountain of Dragons dungeon vibes. The girl mentions she tried exploring it but had to bail. Tamaya drops some knowledge. When he wiped out the Demon King's army, Alicia helped him check out the demon bodies, and Isis was there to gather the goods. Turns out, the Sacred Mountain's tragedy was due to some evil magic experiments. Looks like the Demon Lord's been scheming for ages. Still, it's epic he took down that massive foe, like leveling up in a game. Being childhood pals, Tamaya and Misaki can chat forever without a care. He wonders why he let such an awesome girl slip away in his past life. Misaki gets up, ready to roll, but the dude's got a surprise for her. He recreates her axe and hands it over. She's stoked and thanks him big time. They stumble upon a giant gate, probably where the boss is chilling. As the gate creaks open, Misaki warns them to watch out for traps. They step inside, and bam, the door slams shut. Suddenly, alarms blare, signaling the invasion's on and counterattack mode's live. A creepy symbol lights up the floor, and out of nowhere, a dragon wakes up. The MC's like, hey, this dragon looks familiar, and Misaki's pumped to have her adventurer senses tingling again. She yells for the dude to stay sharp. The dragon charges for its first move. The girl swings her sword but misses, so she asks Tamaya to stall the beast. With a shock move, he distracts the dragon. Then, he jabs his sword into its leg, making it howl in pain. Misaki seizes the moment, slices the dragon, and they finally win. The girl's impressed by Tamaya's skills, saying it's all thanks to Zahark's battle wisdom. Now that they've won, Tamaya thinks it seemed too easy, but Misaki says it was all about the strategy. Tamaya's curious how the dragon looks so much like the Sacred Mountain's Dragon King. The girl guesses they might share origins. Curious, the MC asks Isis about the dungeon's similarities. The AI says both places were built with the same tech, which gets Tamaya hyped. With the enemy gone, they hit the treasure room, finding endless gold. While the MC notes the treasure's resemblance to another stash, the girl's all about those shiny coins. After drooling over the loot, Tamaya jokes she must be broke, and she laughs, saying she just loves coins. To him, she's changed a lot, but she's still adorable, so it's all good. Now he suggests they keep hunting for more hidden treasures. While exploring, Misaki spots a door. They step through and are blown away by what they see. On a totem sits the weapon of bravery, ready to morph into whatever its user wants. The MC thinks it looks like his sword. Then, he tells Misaki it might not suit her since she's got those sensitive feels. The girl fakes being upset for laughs, and they reminisce about their younger days. A noise happens, and thanks to their love vibes, another door opens. Tamaya's thrilled they can snag even more treasures. He hands the weapon to Misaki, who slips it on her wrist. Now that it's on, she can't take it off, but Isis reassures her it's just adapting to her. The MC finds it odd how the girls treat Isis like a buddy. Misaki notices he's close to figuring out Isis has a human form and tries to switch topics. Isis is all, "Yo, the door's open but we gotta hustle, there's a timer ticking." Right in front of them, bam, a shiny jewel. Tamaya's body just yoinks the jewel before he can even blink, and now things are getting wild for him. The MC's throwing a tantrum over all these changes. Misaki's trying to cheer him up, saying maybe his skill to make peeps happy just leveled up. Finally, they're done with their mission, and it's time to bounce home. Misaki's like, "Can we chill a bit longer?" They barely get any hangout time IRL, so she's all about savoring the moment. Tamaya's like, "Just say you want to hang with me more, it's cool." She feels like saying it out loud is betraying her squad and breaking the rules. Tamaya's all, "Let's sneak in some alone time right now." He scoops her up and promises to take her to a chill spot. They land in this bright, epic place. Up in the sky, no one's gonna bug them. Misaki's like, "Honestly, glad I respawned in this world. In their past life, they were stuck after their breakup. Now she can finally say stuff she couldn't before. Caught up." In the fields, Tamaya's like, "Wanna marry me?" Misaki's confused. "What about the others?" He nods, saying he's got what it takes to make them all happy. His charms got them all swooning, and now they're head over heels. Misaki's like, "Dude, that's the worst proposal ever, using your tricks." But she's still stoked about marrying him. Tamaya whips up a magic ring for them. This ring's got powers to link their souls and skills. He's unsure if this is a thing in their world, but vows to make her life awesome, unlike before. Awkward silence hits, and the MC's wondering if he messed up. Suddenly, Misaki's bawling like a kid. They share a sweet kiss, and head home. Back home, all the girls are acting Seuss, and Tamaya's like, "What's up?" He's clueless why things got so weird, and asks why they're all rocking the same ring. Isis spills that his proposal to Misaki was like a group deal for all his crew. Plus, when he popped the question, they all got a brain zap, feeling like he proposed to each of them. Now, Tamaya's powers have leveled up even more. Fast forward 2 days. Tamaya chats with the queen, and she's all, "The wedding's gonna be massive, we're going big in 3 months." Since the proposal, Tamaya's been tight with his girls. They're hanging out more and having a blast. This is the new normal. They're all super into him and want to chill more. Watching from a distance, Isis gets all emotional about Tamaya's new squad goals. She wants to be closer to him too. Isis hopes he'll wait for her. Another day, Tamaya visits a pioneer village. It's bustling, but they still call it a village. A local thanks Tamaya, saying she's there because of him, and he asks if they need anything. She spills the tea on what they need, and Soniel's like, "I got this." The slaves hyped that Tamaya trusts her to handle it all. To keep things smooth, she bonds with the village women. Tamaya's cool with it, even if he doesn't want more ladies in his life. He's down to share his power. While he's pondering his squad, an attack's incoming. The villagers rally, ready to defend. Thanks to Zahark's prep, they're all set for action. Tamaya's all, "Yo, Isis, what's the enemy's level?" And she's like, "About 300, give or take." These monsters aren't total airheads. They don't just attack humans for no reason. But Tamaya's not about to play with fire. When they hit the border, they spot this pack of wolves rolling in. And guess what? There are girls riding on the 3 wolves at the front. They don't look like they're ready to throw hands, but they might wreck the garden they worked so hard on. Tamaya's thinking, maybe they should go chat them up and see if they can change their path. The giant wolves pull up in front of Tamaya, and the girls hop off. These little wolves are all over the young dude, calling him dad. His buddy's like, "Wait, you got kids here?" And Tamaya's like, "Nah, no way. I've only been here a year." Then they're all, "So, who are these girls anyway?" They start introducing themselves to the duo. The first, the short one, goes, "I'm Priscilla, and I'd love to have a kid with you." The next one's Shirayuri, and she's on the hunt for a hubby. Last up is Charnalade, who keeps it mysterious about what she's after. She steps up and says it's been ages since they last hung out. Finally, Tamaya clicks that these girls are linked to the Wolf Emperor. Shirayuri's like, "I'm the Wolf Emperor's form, and Priscilla's his ghost." Lucia and Tamaya are totally mind-blown. Later, they all sit down to chat, and the MC spills that he saw the Emperor bite the dust with his own eyes. Right then, Charnalada's all, "Thanks for bringing me back to life, dude." When he went through the God of Destruction's awakening, they woke up too and became Tamaya's crew. Even with all that info, the MC's head is still spinning. Anyway, when Tamaya woke up, they woke up too. Priscilla's super hyped to kick off a relationship with her new boss. With someone as OP as the God of Destruction, it's no shocker that a bunch of girls are into him. Among the squad Tamaya's met in this world, there's gotta be someone who fits as his sidekick, or maybe his top slave. Deep down, Tamaya's got a few in mind, like Maria, who's got dragon power. Sonia's a demon princess, and Ariel's leveling up big time even though she's human. Tina and Tifa are rare, ancient elf types, and Misha's a divine beast that pops up every 30 years. Meanwhile, Zahark's a demon from another world, and Lyrule and Alicia are two demons reborn as angels. Besides them, he's also thinking of Shizune and Misaki, and of course there's Lucia, his childhood buddy. No way. He can say all this was just random. They all trust him, even though he's just a human. Not even the creator goddess can dodge the blame. Tamaya's like, "Why'd Priscilla call me dad?" Shirayuri explains that Priscilla's the result of her and Tamaya's love. The MC's jaw hits the floor and he's like, "Why drop this bomb now?" Turns out there are no more wolves, except the ones outside. Only the females survived the Star of Calamity. Since Tamaya's partly at fault for the species going extinct, he's gotta step up. Still, the dude's not about to get close to people he barely knows, so he wants to hang out with them first. The girls are stoked about the plan. Charnalot explains she and Shirayuri can't have kids because they're tied to spiritual stuff, but they're cool with his terms. Isis pops in, saying she just activated the creator god's blessing, and now those two can have kids. Things are getting wild, but Tamaya's rolling with it and says he's happy to have the trio with him. They're pumped to get closer to Tamaya and learn more about him. Now they want the young dude to sign a slavery contract with them. Shizune pops up out of nowhere, saying she heard all the tea. She peeked outside and saw all the wolves have turned into women. Thanks to their powers, they can switch between wolf and human whenever they want. This could be clutch for the work they need to do. Tamaya's a bit nervous and wants to know what's next. Shizune's idea of using the wolves as horses isn't half bad, and Tamaya's like, "What do you girls think?" They're all down with it and ready to pitch in. Still, Tamaya's worried others might not be on board. Shirayuri's all chill, saying it's no biggie. Since everyone there is part of the same squad, the princess, Priscilla, so they've all been looking out for each other since day one. This means the trio's got the wolves on lock. Shirayuri's the boss when it comes to teaching and laying down the law. Tamaya's mind blown that those girls signed up for a slavery contract without a second thought. A few days zoom by, and boom, progress is off the charts. The wolves are vibing with the villagers and helping the place level up. Plus, the squad's growing fast, and Tamaya's sweating he might not handle any curveballs. But then Isis rolls up saying no worries, she's got everything sorted. Charnalot uses the hangout with Tamaya to ask when they'll start chilling more. Even though Tamaya thinks it's a bit early to get all buddy-buddy, he can't say no, so he spends the whole night having a blast with them. The crew binges on series, movies, and goes ham on video games. Next day, a girl catches up with Tamaya. The warrior's been snooping on the nobles, and they're acting all sus. They're rallying troops, which is kinda sketchy. This is stirring up drama on the continent, and everyone's wiped out after the epic showdown with the Demon King. One of Hilda's 3 adopted sons seems to be joining the army. They're all top tier and loved by the people, but they gotta follow the nobles' orders. Even though Tamaya's a hero, he's always been tight with the queen, which might have stirred the pot. Tamaya realizes he needs to step up if he wants to earn respect. Ayame rolls in with a plan. She says in Drumrow, there are folks against Tamaya, and he could use this to flex his power. Even though the dude's not into power trips, he never thought about being the top dog. Still, with those wild nobles, they'll probably do whatever their bosses say. They might claim everyone's abusing their power, and that's when they make their move. Maybe this is the perfect shot to take them down for good. Tamaya tells the girls their mission is to push them back without any casualties. Kaide and Ayame are down for it.